good evening, everybody. Welcome inside Coors Field as the Rockies get ready to take on the San Francisco Giants. Game 2 of this 3-game set. Tomorrow will be an afternoon affair. Opening week is presented by Burger King. And hi once again, everybody, with George Frazier. I'm Drew Goodman. So the Rockies and Giants had a day off yesterday. All the pomp and circumstance of the opening few days is over. The opener in Houston, opening day here on Monday, is behind them. The Rockies off to a bit of a slow start at 1-3. Now it's time to get in the grind of playing every day.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's what Jim Tracy said in his early press conference today. They said, hey, did you enjoy your day yesterday? And he goes, no, I was ready to get back here and go to work. I'm ready to go to work today, and I think my players are ready to go to work because we have had a couple of opening days. You've had the off day. Let's play baseball.
Well, Jeremy Guthrie is getting ready to go back to work. He was very, very sound in his first outing as a member of the Colorado Rockies, and he will get two-time Cy Young winner Tim Lincecum on the hill against him.
Well, and I look at this matchup tonight. Here's a guy that pitched very well in Houston for the Rockies in his opening start. He's starting against the Giants. They've seen him one other time in 2010 in interleague play at AT&T Ballpark, but he pitched so well there. Just 4 hits given up. I understand 2 left the yard, big deal. He gave up 4 hits, 3 runs, 3 walks, and a strikeout. He's going to put it in play. He probably understands that better than any Rocky pitcher. He and Jamie Moyer put the ball in play, make him catch the baseball. Tim Lincecum, well, let's think about him for a minute or two. He's got 6 losses against 2 teams. One of them is Arizona, the other, the Colorado Rockies. 8-6 overall in his career versus the Colorado Rockies. Not utilizing the slider as much as he did a year ago, where he did throw it an awful lot. More to the changeup fastball mix, which I think that's what he'll throw here tonight. Everybody says velocity's down. This is a frail guy. I mean, he's not 6'5", 230, and he's thrown 1,038 innings in his very young career. And last year he threw over 200 innings again. He's a workhorse.
He's a workhorse, and he has one of the best changeups in all of baseball. As you mentioned, the Rockies have had success against Tim Lincecum. So it's Guthrie and Lincecum. Rockies and Giants getting ready. We'll talk a little bit about some of the miscues defensively with Jenny Cavnar when we come back.
2 of the 3-game series against the San Francisco Giants. Jenny Kavnar with you here on the field at Coors Field. It looks like the weather has washed through downtown for now, and with it, the Colorado Rockies hope that it took their defensive woes. They've not had a great start to the year so far. 6 errors in just 4 games. San Francisco has 1 more error than they do. That's the good news. But the bad news is the slow start on defense. This team has relied heavily in the past on their defense to have a successful season, and now this lineup's feeling under the microscope.
It's obviously way more apparent when it's in the first part of the season, the first 4 games, the first week, first month, than it is in August. And you know, any type of glaring weakness is blown up when it's that first week of the season because you have nothing to go on.
It's frustrating because I take so much pride in defense, and I think we do as a team, and we've been good here the past couple of years, so it's kind of surprising to me. I think the more and more you talk about it, the more you think about it, that it kind of comes up more often. I think once we get past you know, a few games airless, I think it'll kind of go away and we'll be our normal good selves.
Well, when you talk about solid defense, you can look back to the 2007 season when the Rockies made a trip to the World Series. They had a Major League best fielding percentage of .989. And for the San Francisco Giants, when they won the World Series in 2010, they were tied for first in the league that year with a .988 fielding percentage. So it's a correlation that truly says defense can win championships. This game's coming up for Jeremy Guthrie and Tim Lincecum on the hill. We'll have first pitch for you with Drew Goodman and George Frazier next on Root Sports.
Rockies baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. By Burger King, the proud sponsor of opening week of baseball. By CenturyLink, fast speed and a low monthly price. Visit CenturyLink.com. And by Southwest Airlines, find our fares online only at Southwest.com. Jeremy Guthrie ready to go. Start number 2 on the young season for the former Baltimore Oriole and Cleveland Indian. And he strides to the mound. There's Angel Pagan. He will stride to the plate. He will hit leadoff tonight for Bruce Bochy's San Francisco Giants. And here's the rest of their Southwest batting order. They'll have Melky Cabrera in the 2-hole, Pablo Sandoval third, Aubrey Huff, Hector Sanchez again behind the plate. The reason no Buster Posey, he did not play on Monday, he has a case of the shingles, which can be very, very painful. He will sit out tonight, day to day. Nate Shearholtz did not play the other night. He is in right field. Brandon Crawford at short. Emmanuel Burris will be at second base, and Tim Lincecum is on the hill. And a look at Guthrie's numbers. Friday, 7 innings, 3 runs. You'll take that every time out virtually.
Yeah, you'd sure like to see that happen. In the opening day starter for the last 5 years, he's came over from Baltimore in a trade where he has pitched it through interleague, covering 21 ball games, pitched very well against the National League. They have just a 227 average against Jeremy Guthrie. As we mentioned in the open, he has faced this giant ball club. He faced him on June 16th, 2010 in San Francisco. 6 innings, 4 runs given up on 8 hits. He walked a couple, he struck out a couple, but was on the short end of that ball game.
Here's the Rockies defensively. They'll have Cargo, Dexter Fowler, Michael Kadire in the outfield. Chris Nelson will be at third. Tulowitzki is at shortstop. Marco Scudero at second. Todd Helton at first. Ramon Hernandez behind the plate. Tulowitzki aggravated what has become an injury he's dealt with in years past. That hip flexor, making that jump throw the other night. He said he's accustomed to it. He knows how to work his way through it and around it, if that makes sense, with an injury.
Well, I think he tweaked it a little bit. He felt like today he could go out and play and it wouldn't hurt anything. And he doesn't feel like he's going to hurt it in a situation. He's still going to play the game the way he's always played it, hard.
So the Rockies trying to snap an early season 3-game slide after winning opening day. And Guthrie set to go against Angel Pagan. Pagan came over from the Mets, and he takes strike 1. He's one of those guys, George. He's 30, but he seems to be getting better with age.
Comfortable within himself, I think is the best way to put it. Got out of New York where he has had the spotlight on him to become in, and comparisons being made to greats like Willie Mays. That's not going to happen. I mean, there's only one of those guys. Always had a little bit of speed. Tulo with the pop-up, and he'll get the out. Number 1.
Good start, and for a little bit more on Troy Tulowitzki and the hip flexor, here's Jenny Kavnar again. Jenny?
Yeah, Drew, I talked to Troy before the game, and he said more than just the nagging injury, it's the mental aspect of the injury. He said the last few games, he could feel it kind of seeping into his mind, reminding him how it felt before. So he said that's the biggest hurdle to overcome at this point. He said he would not play if he felt that he could get more hurt. And the biggest thing for him in trying to be a leader in this clubhouse is to play and earn the respect of his new teammates. So he's told me it's way too early to take a day off.
Well, he's a lot like Todd Helton. Talked about that for so many years. Todd did not want to come out of the lineup. He understands now at his age with the back injury over the last few years, he's going to take days off. But it used to be a fist fight to get him out of there. It's the same way with Tulowitzki. Melky Cabrera has a lot of experience against Jeremy Guthrie from their American League days, and he's always hit him pretty well. On the move, Kadire, he lays out, can't get it. Dexter Fowler will fire it back in. It's a 1-out double for Melky Cabrera. Not a surprise. 12 for 32 now, lifetime, is Cabrera against Jeremy Guthrie, including 5 doubles and a home run, hitting .375.
Great big number. Got a fastball to the inner half. Another miss by a Rocky pitcher. And Cabrera made a pay just out of the reach of Kadire because honestly, he either catches it or it's going to be a double. He knows Dexter has his back. This has all been well thought of and thought out by the Rockies defensively.
So the dangerous Pablo Sandoval, who on Monday hit a 2-run home run to the second deck. Line drive deep center field. Going back is Fowler, and Dexter will make the catch. 2 gone, and that'll bring up Aubrey Huff. Huff has a lot of time in the American League. He has 6 career at-bats against Guthrie. Of course, Huff played with the Orioles for a while as well, so they know each other well. He's 4 for 6 with a home run against Jeremy Guthrie. Play a long time, George, and a lot of times you stare in, you see an old teammate, don't you?
Yeah, you do. You stare in, you see the old teammate, and it's kind of a little smirk on each other's face, but it is war. It's time to get him out and get after it.
Guthrie is a very aggressive pitcher with his fastball.
As he should be. And I like the velocity on the curveball, 74. So many guys come into this park, they try to overthrow the curveball. When they typically try to add velocity, it'll hang in the strike zone. Good pitch, Guthrie.
These two played together from 07 to 09 in Baltimore. 1-1, and that's a hard two-seamer at 94, George.
Well, he ran it right at the legs of Huff. Huff locked the knees thinking it's going to be an inside fastball. I got to adjust to keep him getting hit, and it had that nice 6 to 8 inch run on the inner half.
2 outs, Cabrera at second. He went back foot slider. Ramon Hernandez, another former teammate, tried to walk off and influence the third base umpire, Darrell Cousins.
Yeah, I didn't think he went around on that, particularly with the overhead shot. San Francisco on the season very poorly with runners in scoring position at 2 outs. They're hitting just .063, 1 for 16. You'd like to see it stay that way.
Back up the middle, Tulo's got a chance, and he'll throw him out by a couple of steps. He was shaded that way. Well done by Troy. Guthrie gave up the 1-out double to Melky Cabrera, nothing else. First inning, check out the Rockies offensively. They'll begin with Marco Scutaro again. Then Dexter Fowler will follow. Take a look at the Southwest Airlines starting lineup for Jim Tracy. Carlos Gonzalez will bat third, Troy Tulowitzki next, Todd Helton, Michael Kadire, Ramon Hernandez, Chris Nelson, and then Guthrie. The only hitter over 300 in the early going is Kadire. He's at 333. Everybody else has been scuffling so far, and typically this isn't the guy you get healthy against.
No, not typically, but the Rockies have been able to do that because he's lost 6 games to them in his career, 8-6. He's pitched well here. Lost to Arizona. It wasn't a pretty loss either. 5 runs given up. I think you'll see a utilization of the changeup, the hard sinker. I think he wants contact. He will go for the strikeout when he gets to that situation, but would like early outs, much like what the Rockies did against Barry Zito.
Here's the 0-1 to Kadire. This one's fouled off, excuse me, to Scutaro. It's 0-2 on Marco.
Lincecum has always been a first half pitcher. Start thinking about some of these numbers, they're just eye-popping. 41 and 18 in the first half of every season so far pitched. Post All-Star break, 28-24, but an earned run average of 2.94.
Well, when he gets you in one of these counts, you know that split-fingered changeup is coming, and even if you know it's coming, it's hard to deal with. And most of the time, it's not a strike; it dives out of the strike zone. But you're typically committed already. There's a lot of strikeouts on that. He's got a little more velocity in the early going, George, than he did in Arizona. The reports on him in Arizona were 89-90 primarily, and he's been 92-93 here in the first few pitches.
Seeing a little more velocity. That ball he wanted on the outer half of the plate.
Scutaro with that good eye, and it's been all fastballs. He has not gone to the changeup, and Marco now has worked it to a 3-2 count. Scutaro seeing 4.46 pitches per at bat, which is 8th in the National League here in the opening days of 2012. And ball 4.
Changeup on a 3-2 count.
So good at bat for Scutaro. And now Lincecum will have to work out of the stretch. Defensively, the Giants will have Angel Pagan flanked by Cabrera and Nate Shearholtz. Shearholtz a very good outfielder, very strong arm. Sandoval Crawford left side. Burris and Aubrey Huff on the right side. And once again, it's Hector Sanchez behind the plate for Buster Posey. Again, Posey has shingles. Form of chicken pox. That's a pitch that's given Dexter fits. That pitch, either a slider or an off-speed pitch. In this case, a changeup underneath the hands.
Underneath the hands, the back foot. That's the target for a starting pitcher on Dexter right now when you do throw him the breaking ball. You're trying to throw the ball right here. You want to get it right on the back foot of a catcher and have it breaking down into the hitter, Fowler.
Backed it up with a fastball, and it's 0-2. And when a hitter is 0-2 against anybody in the big leagues, the average is well under 200. With Lincecum, it's just 136. Pretty good pickup there by Huff. It's like, I'll get a few ground balls here. I don't need one for my pitcher.
Just an early game wake up. Why not? Right? Turned his head, turned his back, and look what I found. Oh, I found a ball in my glove.
It's a good job laying off that pitch. There's a changeup, 1-2.
Two things there. Looking for the strikeout plus getting the ball on the ground. Hard to turn a double play with Dexter at the plate, but that's what he's trying to do, shorten up his pitch count.
Scutaro's not a guy you'd say is a straight steal type of guy. He's more of a hit and run type of guy. He doesn't have blazing speed at first.
Smart base runner, first to third type guy, but just what you're talking about, Drew, somebody you put in motion at times, he can pick it off for you.
This is an off-speed count, a running count. Probably now more so than any other count. Used to be thought of as just a 2-1 count. He's not going, and Dexter's going. One out, and that'll bring up Carlos Gonzalez. If the Rockies score 7 or more runs during any ball game, go to participating Colorado Taco Bell locations the next day between 4 and 6 to get your Rockies Tacos special. And when the Rockies do score 7 or more, Taco Bell and Root Sports together will donate $500 to Colorado's boys and girls clubs. Carlos Gonzalez, 259 lifetime against Lincecum with a couple of home runs. And he takes a strike. Talking to Todd Helton about how Lincecum likes to work lefties. It's fastball, changeup, and occasionally he will do what he did there. First pitch curveball.
Absolutely will. I remember that start 2 years ago when the Giants won a world championship.
Scutaro's going, swung on and missed, and Scutaro easily has the bag. Sanchez tried to throw it from his haunches, so a stolen base for Marco.
And what he did a lot of times to Gonzalez was he threw the changeup. This was a pitch down in the dirt versus trying to get up. Huge jump on Lincecum. He went from the knees and offline. I don't think they would have had him anyway.
2-strike count on Gonzalez. Career high in stolen bases, just 14 for Marco Scutaro. Last year with Boston, 4. This ball ripped down the line, just foul.
Change up 84, a little more part of the plate than what he would like. would rather have more run and sink away from Gonzalez. To get this effective on Gonzalez, he has to throw this pitch not to the middle of the plate. You see it here, right in the middle of the plate. He's got to start on the corner and run away. Pretty good job, just got a little bit quick on it. Foul by about 5 feet.
Tried to paint the outside corner. He's got good velocity tonight, George.
See, I'm watching a catcher move, and it's just kind of old-fashioned with me, but he moves so late that I think it's not only disruptive to a pitcher, but it's also disruptive to an umpire, because you're not really able to square the ball up to your body as it's coming into home plate to get maybe that outside corner consistently.
He doesn't want to give location away to Scudero, so he could pass it on to Gonzalez. This ball is in the air to deep left center field. Cabrera going back, still going back, can't make the catch. Scudero waited, he'll come around third and score. Cargo thinking about 3 bags, and he is there. Triple for Gonzalez, 1-0 Colorado.
Earlier in the night, you wouldn't think a ball would carry that way because of the storm that came in. There was heavy winds blowing in. That ball carried a long ways for Cabrera. He just gave chase, kept looking and looking and looking, and then couldn't get to it. Right in front of the wall, bounced right over the top of the glove.
Nice little start against Lincecum. First RBI of the year, first of many for number 5.
High fastball away from him. Didn't go to the changeup. You see Cabrera give a chase on that baseball, just could not get there, and then that allowed the run to come around and score. The stolen base pays dividends early in this game. They were likely going to score anyway off of the triple, but in scoring position.
Here's Troy, and that's on the outside corner for a strike. And George, that's an enormous extra base that you get, because now, as long as Troy pretty much gets it in play, not a pop-up clearly or a hard comebacker, the Rockies get 2 markers in the first frame.
And you give a little comfort zone to Guthrie going against the Giants. Everybody's back on the infield. I mean, if you get a hard shot right at Sandoval or Huff, maybe then, otherwise, no.
Oh, he had a pitch to hit there. He got a fastball out over the plate. And now it's 2 strikes on Tulowitzki.
High ball hitter anyway, and he got one. Boy, he got a fastball right down the chute.
Now you go in battle mode if you're Troy, who drove in 53 runs inside the NL West last year, second highest inside the division to Matt Kemp, who drove in 61. Good block by Hector Sanchez, 1-2.
Mentioned in the first telecast, Sanchez traveled from Modesto High A all the way to the big leagues a year ago. He's been a very equal type guy, somebody that has been able to, you don't hear many people say this, but Jerry Weinstein, who works for the Rockies as a catching coordinator here at the big league level and coached in Modesto, said a very offensive, defensive, he's an equal guy. He's a good player. He had 2 hits in the first ball game. He displayed defense there with the block behind the plate.
One, 2. And Troy gets it in play, and he'll get the RBI. That's a great piece of hitting by Troy Tulowitzki. 2-0 Colorado. Against a guy who runs up the strikeout totals. Tulowitzki just got it in play. That was the situation.
2 separate guys. Gonzalez 0-2, couldn't put him away with the changeup. Fastball triple. Here goes back to the change on Tulowitzki on a ball that's nearly in the dirt. Tulowitzki goes down, tops the baseball, pulls it deep enough to allow the run to score.
Well, I can't tell you how good a piece of hitting that was.
That's a great piece of hitting because the ball was on the ground.
2-0 on Helt. Well, Arizona hit a couple of home runs in the first inning against Lincecum in Phoenix the other day. And now the Rockies have put 2 on the board here in the opening frame. Three and 1. And your main guys, Frazier, in the middle of it.
Who have not been in the middle of it.
No.
That's the best part about it.
Yeah. First RBI again of the season for Carlos Gonzalez. Tulowitzki has his 4th. 3-2. Two guys over the last few years have had a lot of success for the Rockies against Lincecum. Chris Iannetta, who's now with the Angels, and Todd Helton. And this is going to drop. Nope. Melky Cabrera came on and made the catch. In the inning, the Rockies got a leadoff walk from Marco Scutaro, a triple from Cargo, and an RBI ground out from Tulowitzki. 2-0.
First 2-0 Rockies on top of the Giants as we head to the second. Now, it's been well documented that Jeremy Guthrie didn't have a throwing partner to do some side work yesterday for his start today since the Rockies had an off day. So he turned to Twitter, and the lucky fan, Woody Roseland, came to the field. You know, Guthrie was hoping to inspire him. Well, it was Woody that inspired Guthrie. See, the 22-year-old showed up with an amputated leg, and Guthrie learned that the 5-time cancer survivor just found out that morning that he is cancer-free. Roseland's very active now in raising funds for cancer research while exercising his talents as a comedian. You can even see Woody perform for the Limbs Preservation Foundation on April 20th. Just visit woodyroseland.com to find out more information. You know, Drew, it is the year of the fan. It's a great way that Guthrie found his fan of the year.
It's a marvelous story. And people are really going to enjoy Jeremy Guthrie. He's a fascinating guy. He has a number of interests. We expressed this during the first broadcast. This guy's exceptionally bright. This is popped up. Shallow left center field. Cargo and Tulo, and Cargo is going to make the catch. He was the valedictorian of his high school class, a 3-sport star, went on to BYU for a year, and then went to Spain on his Mormon mission for a couple of years, came back and transferred to Stanford. Both are great academic institutions, BYU and Stanford. He is fluent in Spanish. Nate Shearholtz with 1 out. On the outside corner for a strike. See, that's something you would have done, George, in your day. Off day, everybody else is off. If you had Twitter back then, you can't operate it right now. But if you did, you'd try to get a fan to go play catch with you, right?
Sure, absolutely. Why not?
Give somebody a thrill of their lifetime.
I'm waiting on the governor to call me, have me throw batting practice to his 10-year-old son.
Well, Governor Hickenlooper may be looking in tonight, so
phone call away.
You may have something to do Friday morning.
Good. I'm in.
One out, Rockies up 2-0. 1-2 count on Nate Shearholtz. On the ground to second. Nice hop for Scutaro. Let's take a look at the Hyundai Road Ahead, brought to you by your Colorado Hyundai dealers. This season, save responsibly when you shop your Colorado Hyundai dealers, coloradohyundai.com. The Giants tomorrow afternoon, and then the Diamondbacks come in, followed by the San Diego Padres. The 19th will be an off day, and then the Rockies are off to Milwaukee and Pittsburgh. Brandon Crawford with 2 outs, and he takes a strike. And again, a reminder, save responsibly when you shop your Colorado Hyundai dealers, coloradohyundai.com. Crawford's hitting just 133, but he's leading the club in the early going with 5 ribbies. He had a bases clearing double on Monday that just kind of blew that game wide open. The Rockies were down 4-0 when he cleared the bags. Here's the 1-1. Boy, that fastball was well located at 93. Ramon Hernandez checked it out at third. Darrell Cousins said no swing. 2-1.
I thought it was a strike, but it is off the plate. I mean, it's a good call by Bob Davidson.
Yeah, Bob,
an excellent pitch.
Yeah, Bob Davidson got to sleep. Gets to sleep at home all week long.
See, that's the difference. That's the difference in a veteran pitcher and a rookie pitcher. 2-1 count. Very good fastball hitter. And he placed a changeup at 85, 8 miles an hour slower than his fastball, but same movement, same location.
2-2, line drive, right field. Kadire will field it on a hop. 2 outs, that'll bring up Manny Burris. A reminder coming up in the 6th inning, Toyota Talk. Text Toyota followed by a space, and then your comments to 720-720. And if you text right now, you'll be entered to win a $500 gas card. That's Toyota Talk. Today's Wednesday, too, right? So Trace will join us. Jim Trace will join us in the middle innings for a question or two from the dugout. Burris takes a strike.
The thing I like about Guthrie, too, is when he does miss, in other words, in or out, it's down. And it has a sinking action on the fastball. So even if he misses a little bit in or over the middle of the plate, chances are they're going to catch the top half of the baseball and put the ball on the ground. If you keep a ball on the ground, you got a pretty good chance of getting some outs.
And the other thing, George, you like to play behind a guy like Guthrie in that he works quickly, and typically he is going to throw strikes.
He's going to throw strikes over and over again. He's going to make sure that you're positioned defensively the way he wants you positioned.
And that's back up the middle of the base hit. So Burris and Crawford 2 out knocks, and Lincecum will come up.
Follow the Rockies on your iPhone or iPad with MLB.com At-Bat 12 app featuring pitch tracking, highlights, and a whole lot more.
So Lincecum steps up. Never much of a hitter, 120 career mark. That's off the plate, 1-0. Amazing what this guy's accomplished already in the game. He won the Cy Young in 08. He won it again in 09. He's now a 4-time All-Star.
Well, and last year, everybody wants to look at Lincecum and they go 13 and 14. Well, the earned run average was under 3. And I'll get to something else after this pitch. It's amazing. There's strike one. He was on. They only averaged 2.94 runs per start when he was on the mound. That's the lowest, 7th lowest since 1990. The lowest was Tom Candiotti in 93. He only averaged 2.5 runs per game when he was a member of the Dodgers. That 13 and 14 could have been a whole lot better if they scored some runs for it.
Well, think about this. He was 5th in the league in ERA, despite being 13 and 14. He had the 4th lowest batting average against. Something I always look at, George. 222 against. That gives you an idea what kind of stuff you're dealing with. So yeah, the record was under 500, but you better read a little deeper.
Read a little deeper and understand the strikeout total too a year ago. 220 strikeouts in 217 innings again.
Couple of hits, 2 men left on. Rockies middle of 2, up 2-0.
The music I'm listening to on my iPod right now is probably country music. My favorite movie of all time is Shawshank Redemption. My favorite TV show right now is Survivor. My favorite thing to do to get away from the game of baseball is to hang out with my family. My favorite thing to do on my iPhone is check Twitter.
Sounded like there was a slight pause there before he said Twitter.
I had to think of something.
That didn't feel good. Lincecum must have caught a spike. Working to Michael Kadire.
Oops. Bruce Bochy goes trick pitch, trick pitch. Whoa, you. I mean, everything gave away there.
Just be glad there wasn't a runner on third base. 2-strike count on Kadire. Rockies got 2 in the first. It's Kadire, Ramon Hernandez, Chris Nelson, 6, 7, and 8. On the ground, down the line. That is a fair ball for Kadire. And he'll cruise into second with a stand-up double. And for Kadire, his 3rd double already of the year.
Just out of the reach, running that slider, it appeared. It had a slider spin to the outside. It just backed up right into the bat of Kadire. He catches the top half of it. Sandoval's off the line. It's step and dive, but not in time to get the baseball.
You know, Michael Kadire now in his career in interleague play against the Giants. Now they're in the same division, obviously. 12 for 28 against San Francisco pitching. A .429 batting average. Ramon Hernandez at the plate. He had a double in the opening day debacle. One of just 4 hits for the Rockies as they were shut out in a home opener for the first time ever. It was his 251st career double, which is 3rd among catchers that are active right now. Has had a really good career.
native of Venezuela, makes his off-season home in Florida. '61 career home runs. And this is a slowly hit ball to Sandoval, and it looks back to Dyer. So Michael has to stay put, and with one out, Chris Nelson will come up. Tim Lincecum has, generally speaking, performed well at Coors Field. But last May 16th, the Rockies got after him at 5 2/3. 7 runs, 3 earned, but 9 hits. Cargo left the yard against him. 6 walks in that game.
Yeah, that's the big number that jumps
now,
out.
Dyer will move up, and that's a bonus, because obviously Hernandez in a perfect world would have been able to move Dyer to third. And now Michael on the wild pitch gets there. So let's see how Bruce Bochy plays it. Down 2-0 already. He's going to pull the infield in.
Part of the reason Chris Nelson at the plate, a ground ball hitter. So they feel like if they can get the ball on the ground with Nelson, they'll have a chance with the infield in.
One and one. Nelson looking for his first knock of the year, 0 for his first 10. Burris and Crawford in up the middle.
What I'm noticing about the pattern he's working, and he's not afraid to double up on the changeup, but there's a lot of fastball, changeup. Against the better hitter, he's gone fastball, changeup, fastball, as he did on Gonzalez. Gonzalez hit the triple off the wall.
Just missed. He went changeup there. Last year, George, he threw his slider about 16% of the time. This year, the first game, didn't throw it at all. Through the hole, base hit. Chris Nelson makes it 3-0.
Good for Chris Nelson. You know, he's feeling the pressure of having some success here because of the job given to him in spring training, which he earned. Nice to see him get this base hit and get his first RBI out of the way. You look on the Mike Shaw Subaru Super Mode. Slider that's spinning. You can see it spinning down and away from him, and he's way out on that front foot. Velocity down on the pitch. Nice job of hitting.
Keep this in mind. File this away. Not saying it's going to happen here, but Jeremy Guthrie, because he's a good athlete and runs well, is a guy that you will see this year, probably on more than one occasion, be asked to slug bunt by manager Jim Tracy.
It's something they work on a lot. And again, this is what I say a lot. There's a lot of times on their off days in between their pitching days that they go into the cages with Carney Langsford and they work on that a lot. I mean, with the machine set at 90 miles an hour, not somebody throwing it from 45 feet at 65 miles an hour. Try to simulate as much game fastball as you can.
And that's going to roll foul. Guthrie really worked at this, George, during spring training.
Way out front. See how far he is out in front? Perfect position to bunt. Gets down low instead of gets the bat about eye level chest, even in that squat, to make sure he stays on top of the baseball and do the job. Get the ball on the ground down.
Well, it didn't work out this time.
And he punched at the baseball. Instead of trying to catch it with the bat, he kind of punched at it, jabbed at it with 2 strikes, and that's hard to do for anybody.
Second strikeout for Lincecum. 2 outs. Nelson at first base. A run across. 3-0 Colorado, and Marco Scutero, who began the rally last inning, He was behind 0-2 and carved out a walk.
Well, the stolen base played a role. I know it was a triple, but that's stolen base. Otherwise, he's probably going to hold up till Cabrera catches the ball in left field. Now, with that being said, this time the wild pitch has come into play after the double. That wild pitch was after Ramon Hernandez had grounded out and Cuddyer was still at second.
If Trace takes a gamble with Nelson running. Top of the order, up 3-0.
Why not? It's a good time to take that gamble because you have your leadoff man. If he's thrown out, you still have Scudero. If he makes it to second, base hit, scores a run.
Taking a long look at Richie Dower, not only Scudero but Chris Nelson. Dexter's on deck. Two and one. Be surprised if he's not moving here.
A lot of times on the fastball, Lincecum will jab that hand down as he always has, but as he recently started to float away from the rubber, then that hand has a tough time to catch up and keep the ball down in the zone.
There he goes. And this ball's well hit to left field. Cabrera reaches up and makes the catch. Another strong inning offensively for the Rockies. A leadoff double by Michael Cuddyer. Nelson brought him around. 3-zip. Top of the third, first pitch swinging. Todd Helton will run to the bag and beat Angel Pagan there. 1 out on 1 pitch.
First time through the lineup, the Giants came up with 3 hits and 9 at bats. Well, the opposition hit .274 against Jeremy Guthrie. First time through, second time through, .237. That's all career numbers. That's not just last year, this year. That's his career. So really handling that lineup second time through.
Well, this is the guy that's been a thorn in his side when they were in the American League, Melky Cabrera, and he doubled to right center field his first time up. He takes a strike there. Melky, 201 hits last year for the Kansas City Royals. One of just 5 players in baseball to eclipse the 200 hit mark.
Once again, Jeremy Guthrie, who did a great job of it down in Houston, first pitch strikes. He's at it again here. 7 for 11. 0 3-ball counts.
Sharply hit. Scudero spins and throws out. Cabrera, 2 gone in the third.
Well, you like to see this. Your club just extended an inning on Lincecum. He had to throw a bunch of pitches. You get a run on a couple of hits, a wild pitch, and you get 2 quick outs on 4 pitches.
Pound in the strike zone. 7 of 11. Pablo Sandoval lined to center field his first time up. He's right around 1,800 at bats in his young career, George. And Kung Fu Panda has a career .308 batting average.
And, you know, when he came up, everybody's wondering about this kid, free swinger all over the place. Scuffled that second year out. You know, a little bit overweight, lost some weight. He could play. It's not just swing the bat. He could play.
He's got cat-like quickness at third base. He's a very athletic kid.
Thanks to this, he's a two-way guy too. He was a catcher, third baseman at the minor league level before he came to the big leagues. Even caught some games in the big leagues.
Great story about him, and I was visiting with him in the Giant clubhouse about this earlier this afternoon. He's left-handed. He does everything in his life lefty. Growing up, he wanted to catch and play shortstop. So his family said, listen, the only way you can do that, you got to be right-handed. So he just started throwing the ball righty. He can throw the ball with the same velocity left-handed.
He might be one of those. He could be a left-handed specialist then. Come off third base, face the lefty, go back to third.
Yeah. Is that guy still in the Yankee system? I think he's in the Yankee system. I think George, is he still active?
I really don't know.
3-1. 3-2. He loves to play. Just the second time Guthrie has faced the Giants. 3-2, and this is rolled foul. Roberto Kelly on the coaching lines at first for Bruce Bochy. Speaking of former Yankees,
enough with the souvenir thing, all right? Hey, first time, this is kind of neat. Boys and girls ages 8 to 13 can sign up for the first Rockies youth baseball camp at Coors Field to learn from Rockies coaches, alumni, and front office staff, and meet Rockies players, so make sure you do that. Ages 8 to 13 in the youth baseball camp.
Two outs, top of 3. Rockies up on the Giants 3-0. And a base hit left center field, and this one is going to roll all the way to the wall. Man, can he hit.
Well, first 3-ball count of the game for Jeremy Guthrie, and then a lot of foul balls on fastballs, curveballs, changeups, and he finally went fastball. And look where that pitch is. It's down in the strike zone. Missed location a little bit, but down in the strike zone. And this young man just went down and got it and rifled that thing through the left center field. gap to get a double with 2 outs.
Fastball at 96. Aubrey Huff hit a ground ball to short. First time ups. Tulowitzki made the play up the middle, and he's shaded in that direction right now.
As a guy gets farther along in their careers, a lot of times they cheat on the fastball, so they start to get quick, and they get a little not so much pull happy. They just hit the ball to the right side more often than not.
You were talking about that Yankee pitcher, George, that throws lefty and righty. And has that special glove.
So where is he?
He's at Wilkes-Barre this year. He's pitched in a couple of ball games. Pat Venditte, or Venditti, I'm not sure how you pronounce the last name. V-E-N-D-I-T-T-E. It's 3-0 on Aubrey Huff. And ball 4. So 2 are on, and that'll bring up Hector Sanchez, switch hitting catcher, making just his 8th big league start tonight.
A couple of hits the other day in the ball game against Shashin. Pretty close right here, but everything's down. Everything's a little bit low in the strike zone, nothing up in the strike zone. Respecting the power of Aubrey Huff.
Sandoval's at second, Huff at first, 2 outs.
This is what happens to a lot of young players when they come to the big leagues. First pitch breaking ball, behind in the count breaking ball. So many organizations are so conscious of teaching fastball command that they're used to seeing at least 2 to 3 fastballs in an at bat. And then when they get up here, you get against veteran guys that can command secondary pitches. You learn to make adjustments in a hurry.
Called a strike on the inside corner. It's 0-2 on Hector Sanchez. And you can see it shaved the inside corner looking at the Ford strike zone. When you're young and you're a catcher, you're not going to argue.
No, if you do, you wait till the next half inning. You got 3 outs to talk about in a very nice way.
Hernandez fakes in, goes away. And 94-mile-an-hour fastball just off the plate. And again, if you're wondering why catchers do that, with a runner in scoring position, it is so that runner doesn't transfer location to the hitter. There's a lot of subtle ways, subtle signals a runner at second can utilize to pass that information along.
And a lot of hitters, when that lake comes up sometimes, they'll even glance down or try to peek depending on their head position to see where you are jumping to.
On the ground to second. Scudero waits for Todd Helton. Jeremy Guthrie works out of a minor situation. Middle of 3, the Rockies 3, the Giants nothing. With George Frazier and Jenny Kavnar, I'm Drew Goodman. AT&T trivia question this night. Can you name the last player in each league to hit 2 home runs in 1 inning? The last player in each league to hit 2 home runs in 1 inning. Pretty good day. Pretty good inning.
Yeah, pretty good moment.
Yes.
That happened probably within 20 minutes.
2 moments. Dexter Fowler, Carlos Gonzalez, Troy Tulowitzki against Tim Lincecum. 2 in the first for the Rockies against Lincecum. That inning was highlighted by a triple from Cargo. And then in the second inning, Kadire led off with a double with score on a Chris Nelson base hit. This ball's well hit to right field, and it is off the top of the scoreboard. Dexter's got a hustle in there with a double. He may be, along with Eric Young, the only 2 people in the ballpark who could have hit that ball with Nate Shearholtz out there fielding it perfectly and ended up safe at second.
Yeah, no kidding about that, because that ball came off of the scoreboard and Shearholtz fielded it absolutely perfect off of that wall, and he's got an extremely strong arm. But what got Dexter there was the long strides coming out of the plate and the hustle of Dexter Fowler. Here it ricochet off of there, and it right perfectly to Shearholtz, and the line offline typically with that throw was just a little bit off to the outfield side. That allowed Dexter to get in there.
And here we go again, the Rockies with a leadoff double.
Constant pressure on Tim Lincecum.
Cargo takes ball 1. What a good feeling for Dexter Fowler. He had been scuffling coming in. He did not perform well offensively in spring training. And one of the things that was passed on to him today by Jim Tracy, by Carney Lansford, let's forget just trying to analyze the swing and you're going up to the plate with so many swing thoughts. Just go play.
You know, there's no question you can overcoach. And you can talk too much to a player to the point where it's kind of like, go clean your room, and they quit listening about cleaning the room. Well, same way as players, if you constantly talk to them about each at bat, each swing that you go through, you're almost there, you got this. That's all nice, positive things. But I will assure you, he's at the big league level, and Jeff Houston pointed it out in the pregame. He's a 262 lifetime hitter with 1,630 at bats at the big league level. He's pretty much put himself where he's going to be in baseball, that 260, 265 range. As you can see, no leg kick, very quiet lower half, and which created a quiet head, which allowed him to see the baseball all the way to the swing of the bat.
2-1 for Cargo. 2-2. Rockies came into the evening, George, 3 for 20 with runners in scoring position, and tonight 4 opportunities already, and they've come through twice. Leadoff man has reached in all 3 innings. Good eye by Gonzalez. 3-2. And I would imagine, George, he will not see a fastball here.
I wouldn't think so. I mean, he's throwing in so many changeups. I think here comes the try to throw the nasty changeup. In the worst case scenario, you hook it in fair territory.
Well, he hooked this to deep right. Shearholtz dives, can't make the catch. Dexter around third. He'll score. Cargo thinking about his second triple. Here's the relay. Not in time. Have a night, Carlos Gonzalez. 4-0 Colorado.
And you're just in the 3rd inning, have a night. That's the best part about it. This is early in the game, and damage is being applied with a 4-run lead by the Rockies.
And it was a changeup.
And what you'd hope there, that you get out front, you hook it, but you keep it fair. Well, he hooked it with authority. That long, powerful swing shot this ball right by Nate Shearholtz in right field as he gave a great effort diving for the baseball, but not in time before Gonzalez, when he saw the ball shoot by him, he never hesitated for third. Another great RBI opportunity for Troy Tulowitzki. It paid off earlier, and he was successful.
4 runs, 5 hits for the Rockies. 4 of the 5 hits, extra base hits, 2 doubles, 2 triples.
They're infield halfway because Troy typically hits the ball so hard on the ground to allow them a little bit of distance to react side to side and on a ball right to them.
This gets away. Here comes Cargo, and he's safe. Lincecum couldn't field the baseball.
Late
5-0.
Late coming off of the mound. That's why he didn't field it. It went away, and I don't think he recognized that Gonzalez was going to go, so he was late coming off the mound, and that allowed Gonzalez to be safe at home plate. I really don't think he felt like Gonzalez was going to come with the ball going up that third base line, and that's why it was late getting there. The toss was not good either. It was well up the first base line out of Lincecum's reach. It was not over the top of the plate.
Tim did the smartest thing at the end, make sure he didn't get spiked.
Second wild pitch of the ball game has cost Tim Lincecum.
This is going to be a tough chance for Sandoval. He won't have a play. Infield hit Tulowitzki. Still nobody out here in the third. Single after a triple and a double.
Now Dave Righetti's got to go out and have a little conversation now with Tim Lincecum, because as he looks at his season now, he's thrown 7 1/3 innings. He's sitting with a 12.27 earned run average, with a loss already on the year to the hands of Arizona Diamondbacks, the one team he had lost 6 games to in his career. The only other team to lose 6, the Rockies, and they're up 5-0. Todd Helton in his career had hit .364 coming into this game against Tim Lincecum, and he lined out to left field at Cabrera in his first at bat. Anger in the fastball, just not a whole lot of anger. 90 miles an hour, well out of the zone.
And George, he had trouble commanding the fastball in Arizona. And you don't expect the phone to ring in a Giant bullpen in the third inning when Tim Lincecum is on the hill. And that pitch misses badly. 2-0. It's Danny Otero throwing. Going to go foul. Todd's going to need a new wand to swing. Now the Rockies have really struggled with the Giants of late. They went 5-13 against the Giants last year. And overall, they've lost 7 of 8 against San Francisco. 18 their last 24. And that's a base hit right center field. Troy will go first to third. Still nobody out. 4 straight hits against Lincecum in the third. And he is on the ropes.
Now you got to believe if they're ready to go, Bochy's going to be ready to go get him.
While Michael Kadire makes his way to the plate, we make our way to Jenny Cavnar. Jenny?
Well, Drew, you made mention that Tim Lincecum hasn't used his slider much. He didn't in the first start. He hasn't much today. One of the reasons I talked with pitching coach Dave Righetti, and he said it has to do with the Arizona desert during spring training. They really shut down the slider because it's very rough on his hands, so it's slow to implement. But when you take a look at his stats back in 2010, he really didn't utilize it that much. Just about 7% of his pitches had to do with the slider, and he said a lot of that came during the postseason, during the World Series. But when you look at 2011, his slider usage went up dramatically, almost 17%. He seemed to find it earlier in the season. But as Righetti mentioned, a lot of Lincecum's pitches have value, but it's rough early in the season when you don't have your full repertoire sometimes.
Now, Tim in his first outing, fastball 52% of the time, which is the same as last year. Relies heavily on that changeup. 0-2 on Kadire.
Would like to see what his fastball average was when he won Cy Young awards.
I'll tell you.
Tell me.
Give me a moment.
I'll give you a moment. While Kadire tries to add damage on a 1-2 count. He will not.
That was the good split changeup there for a strikeout, his third of the ball game. First out in the third inning. It'll bring up Ramon Hernandez. Time for today's CenturyLink high-speed pitch, fast speed, and a low monthly price. Visit CenturyLink.com. Lincecum at 93, Jeremy Guthrie at 95. Tulowitzki at third, Helton at first. Low 2 count on Hernandez. Who's Bochy concerned?
And he should be. And again, Tim has been one of those guys that straightens himself out over the course of the year. And you expect those same outings all the time for Tim Lincecum when he's pitching on the mound to be the same guy that won a Cy Young Award twice.
This ball toward the gap in right center field. It'll get down. Tulowitzki will come around. Helton puts on the brakes at second. Make it 6-0 Colorado. First RBI in a Rockies uniform for veteran Ramon Hernandez.
A lot of first tonight with Chris Nelson's first RBI, Hernandez first RBI, Gonzalez with 2.
Chris Nelson, an RBI single last inning. His first hit, first ribby of the year.
Well, the Giants fans trying to help Bruce Bochy. Time to get him out of the ball game. Boch, get the lefty. Trouble is he's right-handed.
The guy in the bullpen warming up is right-handed. And the guy coming up is right-handed. Yeah, you know what? What have you done for me lately? I mean, that guy's irate. Tim Lincecum, last time I checked, has been pretty good, hasn't he?
I bought a ticket. I flew all the way to Denver to watch these 3 games. I can't get the manager's attention. Nobody wants to listen to me.
All right, George, you wanted to know Lincecum, what he averaged in his fastball?
When he won the Cy Youngs back-to-back.
In 08, he averaged 94.1.
Percentage.
No, that's what his average fastball was. Isn't that what you wanted to know? Or you want to know percentage, how often he threw it?
Yes.
Which
the
is
percentage.
He threw it 66% of the time. It averaged 94 miles an hour. The next year when he won a Cy Young, he averaged 92.5. That's down. And he threw it 10% less, 56% of the time.
Well, the reason why I brought that up, 52% of the time a year ago. This year, a little bit at 50 or below. When he was in his first prime of a Cy Young, it was 66. Big difference.
Yeah, I mean, it's steadily gone down. He threw it.
And
when he first hit the big leagues in 07, 67% of the time. And it's on, as we mentioned, steadily the other direction. And the pitch that has become his favorite is the changeup.
Big time workhorse at college, too. A lot of innings.
3-2, and it's chopped foul. Well, I remember a point last year. Lincecum was struggling during the, I don't know if it was in in July or some point. And we have a lot of conversations internally and externally with other people who are inside the National League West. Well, by the time the Rockies saw him again, ball 4, and that's a walk, and the bases are loaded. And here comes Bochy. Even with Guthrie coming up, he's going to double switch. Lincecum just doesn't have it. The point to finish the story is that he finished real strong. Remember, we heard the velocity's way down, and he showed up at Coors Field and he's throwing 93, 94.
Well, that was the year that they wanted. They needed to win here in this ballpark in the middle of September. And they came in here trailing the Rockies by 1. Now that fan, he's gonna bow out now. It's just like, Tim, I'm sorry your manager left you out there for this 6-run, 8-hit beating that you had to take. He should have gotten you earlier if he'd have listened to me.
Who would have thought Tim Lincecum would be gone after 2 1/3? It'll be time for the kids to head off to college. And the best way to make sure you don't get sticker shock is to open an account at College Invest. You can do it for as little as $25. Go to collegeinvest.org. You'll be glad you did. Tim Lincecum gone after 2 1/3. He's allowed at least 6 runs. He's responsible for the bases being loaded. And Brandon Belt is now in the game at first. Aubrey Huff comes out in the double switch. And 27-year-old Dan Otero, former 21st round pick, made his big league debut on Saturdays on the bump.
2007 was when he was drafted out of South Florida, University of South Florida. Attended Duke University to start his career and has climbed steadily as a reliever through this organization. And a year ago in Richmond, 142 earned run average, went to Fresno, pitched in 33 games, pitched very well there, and in spring training earned the job. Came to spring through 11 1/3 innings, had an .087 earned run average.
He was closing games in Richmond and Fresno. The base runners, Helton at third, he singled. Hernandez singled at first, at second, and Nelson at first. He walked. Guthrie fouls it off.
A lot of guys that are senior signs will be put into that position, as he was at Salem Kaiser, Augusta, San Jose, Connecticut, and Double-A. San Jose again, where he worked as a closer. And then last year in those 33 games, 12 saves. He struck out 36 and only walked 7. A very good command guy.
Did he hit that twice?
3 times. Yes, it hit twice.
That's TC Chen rule, isn't it?
I think so.
That's 2 strokes.
Yeah, hard slider trying to work it out on the Mike Shaw Subaru Supermo.
Got it there, got it again. On the ground should be 2. There's 1 and there's 2. But the Rockies tack on 3 more. Tim Lincecum gives up 6 runs in 2 1/3. The Rockies up 6-love on the Giants. Lincecum, they're up 6-0. 6 runs, 8 hits against Lincecum in 2 1/3. AT&T trivia question once again. Can you name the last player in each league to hit 2 home runs in an inning? Well, there's a reason we asked that tonight. Susan Lob came up with this. In the National League, it was last September 18th. Kung Fu Panda did it. And in the American League, a couple years ago, Michael Kadire did it. Actually, the Giants have the last 2 guys to do it, because Juan Uribe did it a couple years ago when he was wearing a Giant uniform. My first baseball game, go Rockies.
I'm not seeing a bit of it, but I'm having a blast dancing.
You know what? Listen, he's responsible now for the good outing so far by the offense. Jeremy Guthrie in the 4th inning. We'll see Nate Shearholtz to begin. Shearholtz grounded to second. His first time up. And that's in there for a strike.
First time in the career of Tim Lincecum to go out and pitch less than 3 innings and give up 6 runs in a ball game.
So what you're telling me is that is arguably the worst outing of his career.
I would agree. I think it is. You got to go all the way back to September 23rd in 08. It was the only other time he gave up 6 runs to the Rockies, but he pitched a lot more innings in that ball game. In his last 4 starts, he'd only given up a total of 6 runs to the Rockies. Yeah, he'd just like to forget all about that.
Well, this is how bad it was, George. Bruce Bochy made the move with the pitcher coming up.
Yeah, I think pitch count. Got tired of looking at it. It's unfair to his ace to go out and allow him to continue to pitch that way and not pitch aggressively. And unfortunately for Tim, he had a bad night tonight. There's 2 bad nights to start the season, but I think Bruce Bochy understands, along with Dave Righetti, he'll get it figured out.
3-1 the count on Shearholtz. This is well hit right center field. This is going to get on out of here. Nate Shearholtz with his first hit of the year. 6-1.
Jeremy Guthrie gave up a couple of home runs in his first start in Houston. Solo shots don't hurt you nearly as much when you got a 6-run lead. You'd like to have the shutout, obviously. Fastball up out over the plate. Shearholtz has put on added weight with a lot of strength this year. It shows here on that swing and the flight of this baseball out of the ballpark.
Brandon Crawford singled up the middle his first time. One ball and 1 strike. You know, Rich Aurelia did a good job, George, at shortstop some years ago when Bonds was still playing and Kent was at second base. But if you think about it, you know, they've won a world championship and they've had a good run the last few years, last 3, averaging just under 89 wins a season. They've been in search mode for a shortstop.
They have been, and they're hoping Crawford's that guy. 2 years he's been into the Arizona Fall League after playing in the big leagues last year. Went to the Fall League for more experience against better competition. He started the year in Modesto. Still has difficulty with the breaking ball. Covers ground, very strong arm. You feel like he will hit at the big league level.
1-2, and the slider's down low. 2-2. A reminder again, coming up in the 6th inning, Toyota Talk. We did it last year. You enjoyed it. We enjoyed it. We'll do it again throughout the season this year. 6th inning, text Toyota followed by a space and then your comments to 720-720. Hey, if you text right now, you'll be entered to win a $500 gas card. 3-2. This ball's hammered also. This is going to get out. Back-to-back solo home runs for Crawford, his first of the year. And it's 6-2.
Very good fastball hitter. You think in his previous at bat, he got a fastball on a 1-2 count hard in, and he hit that ball to right field for a double. This time he gets the same pitch fastball and gets more elevation and hits it out of the ballpark.
Well, he gave up back-to-back solo home runs opening day down in Houston to Carlos Lee and Brian Bogasevic. This is Emmanuel Burris. He went around 0-1. Tailed back over the inside corner at 94, so it's 0-2 on Burris. That's off his foot. Drive center field. Dexter. I think that's a trap. It is. And a single for Burris.
You know, this may be
Three
one of the
hard hit balls in a row.
Well, timeout for Bob Apodaca. Just go out and visit a little bit, slow the game down. It was a long inning for the Rockies in the top of the third. He had a long inning in the first inning, and all of a sudden some balls up into the zone. They're getting hit fairly hard here with the bottom. You've got Belt at the plate, who has tremendous power. See the ball trapped by Dexter in center. Let's just go out and visit. Okay, you had a 6-run lead. You went primary fastball, and they're getting hit. Let's start mixing some changeups in. Let's keep the ball down, work both sides of the plate, and get out of this inning. Put the ball on the ground, get you a double play ball.
This will be the first plate appearance for Brandon Belt. When Lincecum was removed, he came in a double switch. Aubrey Huff came out of the ball game. He's off to a little bit of a slow start. One for his first 10.
He did that a year ago when they brought him to the big leagues. But he has a knack for driving in runs.
That's a strike. 0-2.
We mentioned when Jamie Moyer pitched the other day, 513 career home runs given up. 58% of those have been solo shots. Well, Guthrie's even better than that. 92 of 142 home runs given up in his career.
Runner go and throw to second, and he's safe. So Burris swipes second. See it that frequently with the club down by 4 runs.
Well, Bochy understands this ballpark. Even though it's a humidor, high grass, and everything else, there's still a chance to force the issue and get back in this baseball game. But only 65%. Good number.
Here's the 1-2 on Belt. Ground ball to Helt. Todd's got it. He'll go to Guthrie. Burris goes to third, 1 out. That's a big stolen base because now with 1 out, if Pagan gets the ball in play, the Rockies up 4 runs will keep the infield back, but it gets the Giants, if they're able to plate that run, George, right back in this baseball game.
Well, you think now you're a grand slam. A manager will tell you, I like to stay at least a grand slam ahead. You cut it to 3. Now you go back to managing. You can hit and run in the middle innings. You can steal a base. You can do a lot of different things to pick away at the ball game. You let their dugout have that confidence again.
Made Bob Davidson flinch, but it was a tad bit inside, 1-1.
.73 pitches thrown in the ball game. 46 of those have been in the strike zone.
So the pitch count's a little elevated right now. 2-1. Giants being very patient. It's paying off right now. A 3-1 count for Pagan.
Well, you asked earlier about Lincecum's career shortest outing. That was tonight. 2 2/3 innings.
2 1/3.
2 1/3. Doug wrote. I want you to see what he wrote, so I read it.
Like he rarely makes an error. What are you writing?
I rarely make an error.
That was a double play. You're right, Doug. Here's the 3-2. And that missed. Ball 4. And now they're 2 on. You're starting to get to the heart of that lineup. Melky Cabrera, a double and a ground ball to second. He has great numbers against Jeremy Guthrie.
Well, the first 10,000 April the 17th, they're going to receive a Hebrew National Dollar hot dog coupon. That's right. So get your tickets now. April 17th. Be one of those first 10,000 through the gates.
Jim Tracy was on the phone. There's movement down in the Rockies bullpen. Matt Reynolds is up. You have good speed on base. You have Pagan, who swiped 32 out of 39 bases last year. Burris at third runs very well. Six runs, 8 hits for the Rockies. 2 runs, 7 hits for the Giants. Ground ball through the hole, base hit. Cabrera makes it 6-3. Pagan stops at second. And you have Pablo Sandoval, who represents the tying run amazingly, coming up.
Well, you mentioned the numbers, a lot of good numbers, and this is the slider. Shot through the hole at first. Burris scores first and second.
Well, in the early going, the Giants offense has basically been the guy who just singled Melky Cabrera and this man Pablo Sandoval coming into the ball game. Those two had combined to hit 353, 3 home runs, 8 RBIs. Huff had been off to a slow start. Brandon Belt with just 1 hit prior to coming into the ball game tonight. Shearholtz did not have a hit. He homered this inning. Here's the 1-0, and this ball's well hit to left field. Cargo going back, going to have to field it off the wall. 1 run is scored. Trail runner's going to get a stop sign. It's a double for Sandoval. It is 6-4, and the tying run is at second base now.
7 RBIs now for Sandoval.
And this is an interesting decision right now for Bochy, because the pitcher spot is up. And he was already at the plate, was Otero. Now he's going to be called back.
This ball slicing and hit very hard. Gonzalez playing a little bit shorter. The ball got out over his head. Flannery holds him up with just 1 out. With runners at second and third. Mota, the big right-hander, up for the Giants. The Giants with an 8-man bullpen. This allows Bochy to do some different things.
Gregor Blanco is going to be the pinch hitter. Reason they double switch, and here comes Tracy. He's going to make a move. He's got him. Jeremy Guthrie has hit a huge pothole here in the 4th inning. He was cruising along. First 3 innings, shutout baseball, staked to a 6-0 lead. He's not going to be able to get a W. And the Rockies' lead is in jeopardy. 6-4, 2 in scoring position, just 1 out. Scoop on upcoming Rockies games. Text alerts to 720-720 and receive text message updates from Root Sports all season long. Well, Sandoval has just doubled in a run. Melky Cabrera's at third. Sandoval, over his last 30 at-bats against the Rockies, 14 for 30, a .467 average, including 5 home runs. You look at the numbers from last year for Matt Reynolds, and he'll face Gregor Blanco, pinch hitting here in the 4th inning. So Guthrie goes 3 1/3 after being staked to a 6-0 lead. Lincecum went just 2 1/3. Not what you would have figured going into this one.
Not at all. 2 number ones going head to head. You didn't think that kind of game would happen. For Matt Reynolds, lefties have hit .250 against him this year. A year ago, lefties got after him at a higher clip.
Yeah, he was far better against righties last year than lefties.
I think maybe that split finger and sinker away worked well for him against right-handers. Now the Rockies got these corners pushed in. As a matter of fact, Nelson 2 steps in on the grass.
And Blanco shortened up. And you were mentioning that during the commercial break, that he runs well, wouldn't be a bad play.
8-man bullpen for Bochy, but a 5-man bench. Posey's out basically in your eyes. He could play, but they'd rather him not play. So now you're down to 3. So I started thinking, Bochy wouldn't surprise me to see this young man try to take a ball up the first base line with him. Instead, he's worked it to a 2-0 count, now a 3-0 count. You've got a switch hitter in the on-deck circle, and Hector Sanchez.
That's not close. Matt Reynolds, to succeed in the big leagues, and he knows this, he's got to get lefties out. You can put up the nice numbers against right-handers, but his job is to get left-handed bats out. Now the bases are loaded for the switch-hitting catcher Hector Sanchez. 0 for 2 in the ball game.
And nobody warming up in the Rockies bullpen. Bases are loaded.
Cabrera, Sandoval, and Blanco on. It's outside on Sanchez now.
5 in a row.
You'd love to get a ground ball here. Get out of this mess. 4 runs have come around for the Giants. And not going to happen here. Base hit, and that's going to tie up the baseball game. Amazing. The Giants have scored 6 in the 4th inning to tie this thing up. Hector Sanchez making his 8th career start with a 2-run single. First and third, still just 1 out.
Fastball away from him that cut in, and then he just shot it. See that on the Mike Shaw Subaru Supermo. Shot that thing to right center field, right out over second base. I mean, did a really nice job just staying back with his hands, not trying to do too much with it.
Nate Shearholtz, who started the inning off with a bomb to the second deck in right center field. And at the time you said, okay, you know, tip your cap, 6-1, no big deal. Solo home run. That was followed up by a solo home run from Brandon Crawford. Still not the end of the world, 6-2. But since that time, a single, 1 out, then a walk, a single, a double, a walk, a single, and it's 6-6. And the Rockies, Matt Reynolds is going to have to pitch well to keep it even. One and two. Shearholtz with that home run has terrorized the Rockies at Coors Field. 6 home runs and 28 career ball games at 20th and Blake. 6 of his 19 career home runs. Here's Shearholtz on a 3-2 pitch against Guthrie to begin the inning. Rockies had entered the ball game having scored just 10 runs in their first 4 games. It was great to see him throw 6 up early. Shearholtz hanging tough. It remains 1 and 2.
Way too many good cuts. Against a left-hander, left on left, and Jim Tracy, nobody up in his bullpen now thinking, okay, we're going to play chess for a while now. There's that hard slider. A lot of pitches seen so far, 13 in this at bat. Or 13 pitches, excuse me, thrown by Reynolds, but a lot of those have come right here. Over half, 7. To Shearholtz.
Dropped down a little bit and missed. 2 and 2.
Try to throw a sweeper and get him to chase it, and he didn't do it.
And this is popped to mid-range right center field. Good speed at third. Here he comes. Here's the throw by Kadire. Safe at the plate. Sac fly off the bat of Nate Shearholtz has given the Giants a 7-6 lead as Gregor Blanco beat the very good throw by Michael Kadire.
These are a difficult throw for an outfielder because of the height of the fly ball. You'd much rather come running in on the ball. You got to wait for it to come down and really concentrate on planting your feet. Kadire did just that and threw a strike to the plate. Hernandez blocked the front side of the plate. Blanco did a nice job of going to the backside of home plate where he stayed away from the knee of Hernandez.
Brandon Crawford swung on and missed.
See where that knee comes down. Blanco goes to the backside.
Oh, and 2 on Crawford. book closed on Guthrie. 6 runs, all of them earned on 9 hits and 3 1/3. He walked 2, struck out 1. Now ball cut off by Scudero, and the Rockies will finally get to the dugout. A disastrous 4th inning. They had a 6-0 lead when it began. They now trail 7-6. Rockies baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by the Ford F-150. It's not just a pickup truck, it's a Ford F-150. Built Ford tough. By Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo customers get your 2-for-1 Rockies tickets today by going to wellsfargo.com/Rockies. Wells Fargo Bank, member FDIC. And by your neighborhood Toyota stores. Toyota, moving forward. Rockies had a 6-0 lead. That is gone. 7 runs in the 4th inning. Nate Shearholtz, a solo home run, and also a sac fly. So he put the first run up in the inning and the 7th run up. And now they'll hand the baseball to the 38-year-old veteran Guillermo Mota.
And he's, you know what, he's made a nice career since he left the Dodgers, went to the Mets. Last year, 52 ball games pitching in just this situation. Still has the ability to strike guys out with 77 a year ago. The long ball, 10 in 80 innings. He'll get the top of the order for the Rockies.
This is Mota's 22nd professional season. He's one of 5 active pitchers to appear in 700+ games on the bump. Scudero, Fowler, and Cargo as the Rockies look to reignite the offense. 2 in the first, 1 in the second, 3 more in the third as they chased Tim Lincecum. Shortest outing of Lincecum's career. Yet the Rockies are now on the wrong end. But it's really early. I mean, it seems like we played 3 games.
Well, and the thing about this type of ball game, a lot of fans used to like the 15-14 games. You may see one tonight.
Kind of has that feel, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. Mota's fastball used to range in the 95 to 100 range when he was younger. As he's gotten older, he'll change his arm slot to a low 3/4. With his height and arm length, it can be intimidating to a right-handed hitter. That last fastball was at 90.
On the ground, up the middle. And a wild throw, safe at first. Good slide by Scudero on the errant throw by Burris. It pulled Belt off the bag.
Burris lost his footing when he fielded the baseball, and instead of regaining his footing, he threw off balance. And by throwing off balance, the ball got away from him at second base. Watch right here. His feet went out from under him. Put his glove down, and then the high throw, and Belt tried to make an athletic move and hang on to the bag and the ball. Couldn't do it. Then tried to tag. Scudero went way outside and is safe at first.
An error on Burris. See if the Rockies can take advantage. They've now had the leadoff man on in every inning. Fowler doubled off the right field wall. Missed a home run by just a couple of feet his last time up. Easily the best swing he's had left-handed here in the early going. Here's Dexter against Lincecum in the third inning.
I love that sound when it hits that 10 scoreboard in right field, shoots back in like that.
Lost 7-0 Monday in the home opener. They trail 7-6 here in the fourth, and that's pulled the hole, a base hit. Scudero is going to turn it up. Shearholtz can really throw. Safe there, and Dexter moved up on the throw. That's the dangerous part. If you try, with Dexter Fowler being the trail guy, if you try to cut down a runner at third, you'll see Dexter move up quite frequently. Second and third, nobody out for Cargo.
Let's look to see where the second baseman, Burris, went on this. If he shot back to the bag. He was away from the bag. See, as he's coming around, so on a cutoff, they might have had a shot, but he overthrew. He overthrew Crawford at short. That allowed everybody to move.
Fargo's had a big night already. Triple in the first to drive in a run, triple in the third to drive in a run. Last year he had 3 triples the whole season. He's got 2 here in the first 2 ABs. Here's the triple in the first, deep left center field. Melky Cabrera couldn't catch up, and then on a 3-2 changeup against Lincecum, he lined it down the right field line. Shearholtz dove, couldn't come up with it. Chance to put the Rockies back on top. Big swing and a miss again. 0-2.
2 sliders. That a hard slider at 86 under the hands. Mota, a 2-pitch guy. Fastball, slider.
Any kind of hit out of the infield, the Rockies will go ahead with Dexter at second base. Scudero reached on an error. He's at third. Tulowitzki on deck. Giants up 7-6 in the fourth. Got a piece of it. Right back to that slider. Here's the thing with Cargo. I don't know if it'll play out this way, but with a great hitter, that's why I was with batting champ George in 2010. If you go to the well once too often and miss location by a couple inches, you can see him trotting around the bases.
Yeah, he can hurt you in a hurry. There's no question about that. I think what Hector Sanchez went out to Mota with is says that's too good a slider. You can't leave that in that area for this guy. He'll drop the head of the bat on it. You've got to be able to throw this on that back foot and throw it with some authority. I'll block it, you throw it.
Good looking pitch there at 92, just off the plate. It's a amazing. You have a little success, George, and you start getting your eye back, and you start getting a little bit of your patience back.
Absolutely you do. I get confidence. Yeah, I don't care how good you are. When you scuffle a little bit, start to try too hard.
This ball pulled toward the hole. It'll get a run home, and maybe what better than that, they get the out there. Good effort by Cargo to get there. Mota just beat him. Third RBI of the night. We're tied at 7. Belt made a good play.
Well, he hooks this thing, right? It looks like it's going to go in the hole between first and second. Belt makes a nice play, and only the long strides of Mota beat Cargo over to the plate, or over to the first base bag, I should say. Look at that one stride, almost looked like 10 or 11 feet as he got out in front of Cargo's head first slide into the bag at first.
Well, for the first time, first of many, we hope in 2012, we've got tacos. Fowler at third, Tulowitzki at the plate, ball 1. Troy has come up in the same situation basically twice. Runner at third with less than 2 outs. He had an RBI ground out in the first, and then he had an infield hit his next time up, but the run actually scored before his infield hit. Cargo came home on a wild pitch. Chance to put the Rockies back on top, and this will get it done. Soft serve, left center field. Troy just reached down and poked it, and the Rockies are up 8-7. Come on down, Dexter Fowler. Second ribby of the night for Troy Tulowitzki.
But just when you wanted your 3- and 4-hole hitters, the 2 prominent players on the Rocky team to come through for you, they've done it in a way of 5 RBIs tonight in a big way. Slider again. Tulowitzki dropped down on that back knee to go down to get this pitch with that upright stance. Able to keep both hands on the bat, which generated enough bat speed to bloop it into the outfield.
That's twice now, George, that we've seen Troy back off a little bit and do what was necessary to get that run home.
Well, when you try to do too much, a lot of times you end up failing because you're trying too hard. You overswing on pitches. You become very vulnerable to the pitcher.
Todd turns on one, pulls it toward the corner. It is a fair ball. Tulowitzki will stop at third. Helton's got to shut it down after a long single, a 350-foot single. Mota's pointing that it was foul. But I'll tell you what, the first base umpire, Ron Copa, George, moved and got a real good look at it. Now Bochy's going to argue.
He's out visiting with Bob Davidson, and Davidson's saving the long walk to first. It is fair. Or
I don't know.
Right on the line.
Yeah, we're going to have to look at that one again. It was really close.
See here, when I saw it in flight, I thought fair ball.
It's hard to tell.
I think it pulls some paint off of the cement down the right field line. I think it pulled white paint. Because honestly, if it's nothing but green on the ball, look at the baseball. It'll tell you what it hit. Paint will come off on the ball. That's green, there's white. You're looking at me as a puzzled look.
First and third. Todd's second hit of the night, and Kadire at the plate. A double in the second. He punched out in the third. Still just 1 out. Dyer 1 for 3. against Guillermo Mota in his career.
Slider, he's shown a lot of this first pitch.
And this should get the job done. Maybe more. Deep right center field. How about Moore? Helton to third. He'll stop there. Another double for Kadire. The Rockies lead it 9-7. He's got a slow heartbeat, doesn't he?
I'm telling you what, better than Bill for me. Everybody in Minnesota, all my friends that were up there, particularly Bert Blyleven and Dan Gladden, said you'll love this guy not only on the field and what he performs, but on the field so far this year. It's been special. Look at this pitch, folks, all the way down along the ankles. And he drives this ball into right center field. Helton had to hold up in case the ball was caught.
Now the infield halfway. Hernandez held up, second and third. What a crazy, wild game this has been already. Ball game circa 1997.
Nobody throwing in their bullpen. 17 pitches in the inning. Trouble is, Hector Sanchez hasn't caught many of them.
I can read the lines on the blogs already. Who forgot to put the balls in the humidor, right? Long double.
A lot of guys coach at third base too.
3-0 on Hernandez. Chris Nelson on deck. Hector Sanchez just glanced over there. He wanted to know who's in the on deck circle. They didn't give in with the fastball there. They went 3-0 changeup. Clay Hensley is a well-traveled veteran, and Tyler Chatwood. Here's the 3-1. He went changeup again. They'll come home with it, and Helton is out. Todd going on contact. The infield was allowed to get a little more depth there, George, because there wasn't speed at third base.
That's exactly right. And again, they felt like they could stay deeper. And on a ball hit to them, they're not all the way back. They're halfway. Field the ball cleanly, then make an accurate throw. Crawford executed that perfectly.
The 1-0 on Nelson, and that's back up the middle, taken there by Crawford. That's all for the Rockies, but they get 3 runs to retake the lead. 9-7 Colorado. Crazy. Fifth inning, 9-7 Colorado. They've scored in every inning. Drew Goodman, George Frazier upstairs. Jim Tracy kind enough to join us from the Rockies dugout. Trace, not maybe as you would have drawn it up. The one thing you have to be real pleased with, not only the lead, but that offense is broken out tonight.
There's no question, Drew. You know, the part that you're disappointed in is the fact of, like you just said, the offense broke out. You know, we staked Jeremy to a 6-run lead, and it gets away. Obviously, we're playing a very, very good ball club, and they're not going to go easy. You'd like to see that go a little bit differently because obviously we're going to use some bullpen as we go throughout here the rest of the evening. But offensively, we're doing a terrific job of taking runs just like we did in spring training when they're there, whether it's a situational at bat, a ball in play that drives in a run. Completely different from the first 4 games of the season.
What I like, they put 7 on the board. You came right back at them. In the past, a year ago, I don't know if you would have seen that.
That's a great point, George. And you know something, the other thing about it is, too, when you see Carlos Gonzalez and Marco Scudero diving into first base, it makes a strong statement about where we've been the first 4 days. We all realize it. We want to go to a much different place with this club.
Hey, Trace, good luck the rest of the way, and thank you very much,
all
as
right,
always.
You guys, thanks.
Jim Tracy joining us on Wednesday, presented by Rockies Weekly. You can catch Rockies Weekly with Trace Sundays right after the ball game. Matt Reynolds misses high ball 1 on Emmanuel Burris. Burris, Belt, and Pagan, 8, 9, and 1. In the reconfigured lineup for Bruce Bochy. He had a double switch in the 3rd inning. That's a strike. Tim Lincecum, if you're just joining us, you're probably just joining us and saying, wait a second, I heard that Lincecum was going against Guthrie.
Yeah.
There's 16 runs up there, and this game's in the 5th inning.
And 22 hits.
Lincecum was gone after 2 1/3, shortest outing of his career. He gave up 6 runs. And Guthrie was cruising. 3 good innings, and then the 4th inning, the wheels came off quickly. Back-to-back solo home runs to begin the inning. He ended up giving up 6. Reynolds gave up 1 more in the inning. Rockies were trailing 7-6, but then they got 3 in the 4th. The Rockies scored 2 in the 1st, 1 in the 2nd, 3 in the 3rd, 3 more in the 4th. 9-7, they lead. 12 hits for Colorado, 10 for the Giants. It's raining again.
Well, here's the other thing about this. I think Matt Reynolds started this inning, even though he was roughed up a little bit in the other inning, because Burris is not a guy that can leave the yard. Then you got a left-hander at Belt coming up right behind him. Chatwood's loose in the Rockies bullpen.
Rockies took batting practice naturally on the field. When the Giants were getting ready to take BP, the skies opened up and it poured for about 20 minutes. Swung on a miss, so Matt Reynolds strikes out Emmanuel Burris. And then the rain moved on out, but it's coming down pretty good right now.
You can see the pitch count at 24 for Reynolds didn't affect that hard sinker down and away. Coming in waves across this ballpark. Man, slow it down, it even comes, looks like it's a little thicker.
It's funny how that works. Having fun now, Ron Copa. 0-1 on Brandon Belt. 1 ball and 1 strike.
One more to look. I see there. See, I slowed it down for you. You like that?
Yeah, it's the Mike Shaw Subaru Supermo.
I even got the upper level of lights to a little strobe light for you. Dropped down with a slider earlier off Belt. This time he drops down fastball.
Two and 2 on Brandon Belt. A great minor league hitter trying to make it translate to the big leagues.
What Drew's talking about, 383 in San Jose, his first year, 337 at Double-A, and he went to Triple-A and scuffled a little bit just in 13 games. A lot of people pointed probably being a little tired playing that first year. The next year he's made the ball club out of spring training, but he hit just 225, but he hit 9 home runs for the Giants when they were hunting for power.
Nacogdoches, Texas. Another 3-2. Another pitch fouled off.
A 5th-round draft pick in 2009. Todd Thomas.
He went to one of the top JC programs year in and year out in the country, San Jacinto. He didn't go, and it's ball 4. So a 1-out walk to Bell. Reynolds continues to have better success against right-handed hitters than left-handed hitters.
And it's puzzling because of that big slider that he has and the confidence he had to throw it for strikes when he first came here. Chatwood continues to get loose under the watchful eye of Jim Wright, Rockies bullpen coach.
Second walk allowed by Reynolds. Pagan. He's in from the right side. .262 last year with the Mets for Pagan. Last year, 2009, when he hit .306.
Well, every Monday, make sure you wear purple to the ballpark. That's right. It's a Purple Monday theme for the Colorado Rockies home games, and you can win prizes. Buy a Purple Monday ticket package to make sure you don't miss a one.
One and two. 2-2. See, Ryan Vogelsong, George, who missed the opening days of this season, is scheduled to make his first start when the Pirates come to town. San Francisco will have their home opener on Friday. On the ground is short. Tulo coming quickly. There's one. And Scudero, no chance to double up the very quick Pagan. So there are 2 outs, and that'll bring up Melky Cabrera, another switch hitter. Here's our Coors Light freeze cam. Todd Helton, a couple of hits tonight, including this one, which flirted with going out of the ballpark. It also flirted with being a foul ball right on the line. Coors Light Freeze Can brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Melky's 2 for 3 in the game. Proven, at least in the early going and in spring training, George, that last year wasn't a fluke. He tore the cover off at the Cactus League.
Yes, he did. I mean, he came here thinking, I'm playing on a pretty good baseball team with one of the better pitching staffs in baseball, and playing with the Kansas City Royals. I got a chance to win.
Plate 1-1. Pop fly, right field line. Nobody's going to get there. George, you got a good scouting report, and more importantly, the Rockies got a great scouting report on Michael Kadire.
Boy, what a show he has put on early in this season.
You saw Michael, patting his chest as if to say, my bad. I think he was trying to toss that baseball to a kid, and somehow he didn't get it to his intended target. This is deep in the hole. Tulo backhand throwing on the move. Out at second base. Great throw by Troy to Marco Scutaro. He just did beat Angel Pagan. Middle of 5. Rockies 9, Giants 7. Time for the Excel Energy High Efficiency Inning, brought to you by Excel Energy. Learn about energy efficiency and how to save energy and money in your home by visiting responsiblebynature.com. The Rockies have had efficient innings offensively in each at bat. Dexter Fowler off the wall. This is a triple for Cargo, his second triple of the ball game. Ramon Hernandez with an RBI base hit. Rockies got 3 in the third. They got 3 more last inning. They've scored in every frame so far. They have a 9-7 lead. Remember, they had 10 runs in their first 4 games. They've almost matched that tonight in the first half of this ball game. Eric Young's going to pinch hit for Matt Reynolds here in the bottom of the 5th inning against Guillermo Mota. Rockies have had the leadoff man on in all 4 innings, and the bunt is pushed towards short. That's gorgeous. Man, is that good. Pablo Sandoval was in about 50 feet, George, away, and Junior, who works tirelessly on
it's part of the game. He's
doing this. He just pushed it past him toward the shortstop.
Yeah, this is something he's doing a nice job with. He actually pushed it hard, kind of slapped at it, poked it out there beyond Mota, who falls off first base side, and beyond. Panda's coming, but hit so hard, forget about it. In a running play by Crawford, great effort, just not going to catch the speed of Young at first.
So Junior will draw, I'm sure, several throws. Scutaro at the plate. Jenny Cavnar, what's cooking?
Yeah, I don't want to say that Eric Young Jr. was read the right act at spring training, but it was made very clear what his role on this team would be. And as you saw with that push bunt, it was to get on base. Teams know that he's going to steal, but the opportunity now for him is to make sure that when he's on, he still has the availability to get to second. And I think that that's been his mentality when he sits in the dugout, when he doesn't start a game. He knows that whether it's at bat or to come in as a pinch runner, his opportunity is to get on, and not only get on, but move to second, even when teams are expecting it.
Hey, he got on in a 3-3 ball game opening day in Houston, and about 45 seconds later or so it seemed, he was in the dugout. He had scored, stolen base, caused a wild throw and an error, and then came home. They're going to pitch out. EY's going, and he still has the bag. That's when you know you're really fast. They pitch out, and he still swipes the bag. Not the prettiest slide.
Not the prettiest slide, going in hard into second base. Kind of an upright, never allowed that other leg, the right leg, to get down where it was flat on the ground. It was more of a bouncy knee into second base. See, once that knee hit, bounce, it never got around there. Boy, you're lucky you didn't hurt yourself.
That's amazing, because he does not have a ton of service time, George. He's already got 50 stolen bases. Scutaro shortened up. The bunt defense that was employed right there by San Francisco had Mota having the entire left side, George, but he fell off the mound to the first base side.
And that makes it more difficult, bigger man, to regroup to get back to the baseball.
Good eye by Scutaro. 3-1.
Matt Belisle is warming up and throwing for the Rockies in the bullpen right now.
And with Matt Belisle up in this case, I think Jim Tracy's eyeballing 2 innings out of Belisle.
Well, I would think so. He's capable of doing just that.
Here's the 3-1. And Scutaro lines it right center field. Get down it will. EY's going to come around. Scutaro heading to second. RBI double for Marco Scutaro. Rockies have hit double digits. 10-7.
First RBI of the season for Scutaro. Speed starts it all. Bochy's like, let's make another double switch. And he'll do that now. He's going to go to his bullpen. With Dexter Fowler coming up, he'll throw him around to the right side with a runner at second. Another look at this double. Scutaro staying right on the pitch in the baseball and driving it into right center field.
So Guillermo Mota will depart. Nobody out. Scutaro at second, 10-7, Colorado. Is brought to you by Burger King. It's always good, George, when you score in every inning play. 2-1, 3-3, 1. The Giants got a 7 spot, 6 of those against starter Jeremy Guthrie in the 4th. Tim Lincecum, shortest outing of his marvelous career so far, just 2 1/3. And Cargo's got a couple of triples. All 8 position players have reached. The Rockies are 7 of 14 with runners in scoring position. They were 3 of 20 coming into the ball game. Brett Pill takes over at first. So Brandon Belt, who was in for Aubrey Huff in a double switch, now they're on their 3rd first baseman.
3rd first baseman, and realistically only one guy left on the bench, Terrio. But I asked Doug Marino, then you start to look at Matt Cain and Bumgarner, 2 good hitting pitchers that Bochy more than likely will have to use in this ball game.
Well, Bumgarner pitches tomorrow. Managers, generally speaking, will try to stay away from that if they can. Dexter Fowler's had a good ball game. Double and a single lefty. Scudero an RBI double, nobody out. He's at second. Rockies up 10-7. Outfield straight up for Dexter from the right side. He looks to bunt. This is going to be a tough play. Affel fires, and he got his man with an accurate throw to Burris covering. Just had a miscommunication there, Pill and Affel.
Came after the ball, didn't get called off. They both went for it, but Jeremy Affel at 6'7", 230 pushed the youngster out of the way and snapped a throw to first base to get Dexter Fowler.
Give Dexter a sacrifice. And now Cargo, who's driven in a run in each of his first 3 at bats, has an opportunity to drive in a 4th. 2 triples and an RBI ground out. Infield is in. Something interesting, George, in the early going of 2012. Cargo has 9 at bats against righties and now 12 at bats against lefties, and he'll add on a few more tomorrow with Bumgarner going.
Yeah, we're definitely going to see that tomorrow. And the other side of this thing, he's trying to get his first base hit off of Jeremy Affel. He's 0 for 6 in his career.
I'm telling you, he's a different guy tonight. I'm not just saying it because of the triples. He would have swung at that pitch 2 days ago. He was so amped up to start the season, he swung at everything. 1-1 the count. Scudero at 3rd. And Cargo's got himself a 4 RBI night. And he's got his first hit against Jeremy Affel. It's 11-7. 3 for 4 night for Gonzalez, 4 ribbies.
And you like the fact the Rockies have not sit on a 1-run lead. They continue to add to it. Now they're up 4 after this base hit by Gonzalez.
Well, this club, as it's transitioned the last couple of years, is built around Cargo and Tulo, and they've driven in 6 tonight. On the ground, the 3rd, and Sandoval has to go the long way. He hasn't hit hard enough to try to turn 2 or even a chance getting the force at second. Cargo moving. And he's in scoring position for Todd Helton with 2 outs. Runs, 15 Rockies hits tonight. Bochy's been here before. He has managed slew of games from that visiting dugout. So many years in San Diego, 6 years now in San Francisco.
Managed pre-Humidor, so he understands games like this. They get crazy. 11-7 ball game. See why he's trying to get Gonzalez caught at second. Oh, 2 for 6 in his career against him.
Hey, what, Melky Cabrera was really shallow in left field. And Todd, in spring training, but started this season down in Houston, we've seen him drive the ball to left field with the authority of, Todd 5 years ago.
And a shallow in center field to go along with Cabrera in left, so that gap becomes bigger.
2-1. Good pitch.
Wow. I thought it was a little off of the plate, cut away from Todd Helton. Strike zone says it did.
See if Afeld goes to that slider. Nope, fastball, and it's driven to left center field and deep. Cabrera too shallow. He's not going to catch up. That'll roll all the way to the wall. RBI double for Todd Helton. Just as we were talking about, he drove that ball about 400 feet to left center field. It's 12-7 Rockies.
Both shallow, Cabrera and Pagan, and Helton took advantage on a ball away from him. Stayed right on it after throwing a fastball there, doubling up on Todd Helton. He got after them. Seen it many times at Coors Field. How about this? Gonzalez, 3 hits, 4 RBIs. Tulowitzki, 2 hits, 2 RBIs. Helton, 3 hits and an RBI. Kadire, 2 hits and an RBI. This is when the game plan was being drawn up in the winter. All these things were playing in. Todd Helton, you see now, 96th all time on the list with Walker, Helton, and Vernon.
Bounces up there at Kadire, and George, just to embellish the point you were making, this is what Dan O'Dowd envisioned, the length of the lineup. You have an RBI machine in Michael Kadire hitting 6th. So a pitcher's not out of the woods. He goes, all right, I got past Cargo and Tulo and the Hall of Famer Helton, but now here comes Kadire.
This game reminds me of the basketball coach when the guy shoots the 3 and he screams no and it goes in and they say yes. You know, of everything that's gone on in this game, don't swing at that. Yes. Yeah, Lincecum didn't like the Rockies so much tonight for a good reason.
But you know what?
But he did spit the hook out and won't get the loss in the ball game.
I'll tell you something though. You know what I respect a great deal? A lot of starting pitchers, you wouldn't find him in the dugout after that performance.
He's back out again.
Rockies have 16 hits, 7 extra base hits. Kadire has 2 doubles. 3-1. And ball 4. Speaking of the length of the lineup, as Righetti goes to the mound, your old buddy from your Yankee days, Ramon Hernandez goes up. He is no slouch offensively, 161 career home runs.
Absolutely, and Righetti's like, we got to work this thing out. And remember, he's got a young rookie catcher just in his 8th major league start behind the plate, so sure there's a lot of things in conversation of what you're trying to do pitch-wise to certain people.
This is Jeremy Affeld's reaction. After the Helton double. Barking, I don't know who, George, I don't know if he's barking at.
He's barking at his catcher.
Hector Sanchez.
Yeah, he is. He's barking at his catcher and at himself because the ball was not in the location he wanted it in. It was up in the strike zone.
How was that Hector Sanchez's fault?
Well, I think he turned around in anger to say, was that ball up or what was that ball at? Should have gone to the slider, and you know, maybe that's where Righetti went out just to calm the veteran guy down and say, hey, hold on a minute.
1-0 on Hernandez. Rockies have scored 9 runs in the last 2 2/3.
Well, Bruce Bochy has emptied his bench. He's gone to his veteran guys in the bullpen, Moda and Eiffel. Nothing has worked. He manages a lot like Jim Tracy. The aces may not come out in the ninth. They'll come out earlier in the game just to stop the bleeding and take advantage and try to score some runs and stop the opposition. Tonight it hasn't worked out.
Here's what managers are always concerned about, especially visiting managers. When you come in here and you get one of those shootouts, it doesn't happen nearly with the regularity it did pre-Humidor. But it blows up some of your plus side guys for the next day and for the next series.
Well,
you're affected.
Absolutely you are. Managers hate it.
That's a bullet up the middle, a base hit. Helton around third. He's getting sent home. The throw is knocked away. That's going to allow Hernandez to move up. And hung up now is Michael Kadire. The throw's late. It's dropped. Kadire's safe. Throw to third. Safe there. You got to be kidding me. 14-7. You won't see a crazier play.
Somebody's getting a bunch of errors. I don't know who it is.
Good luck.
You just give it to
that
whoever.
out.
I'm going to give it to Bill at first. He dropped the ball. Mistake on this base hit. After the base hit, Helton's going to score. That's a given. But then Kadire sees the ball shoot away. He comes to the plate. They throw back. Affeld's got him. You run him back to the base farther. But then Sandoval hung on to the ball way too long and has to have a snap tag. And then this little dance with the hands was outstanding by Hernandez. Watch this. Here comes the tag. He's well up in front of the bag, so he's got to reach back. He goes well behind. Hand over tag. Miss me. Sit down. Reach back to grab it with the left. Nope. Miss me. Now I'm going to come back with the right.
The old swim technique. You thought it was just useful in football for a defensive lineman, huh? That was flat out crazy.
Goes right along with the game. 27 hits, 21 runs.
From the Giants' perspective, that looked like day one of spring training when you're 12 years old.
Here it is, watch. Slide by, miss. Reach back, miss. Right hand over. How did I miss him twice? Cabrera's standing right there, threw his hands up like, really?
Chris Nelson pokes it down the right field line. Fair ball. Hernandez scores. Nelly will stop at second with an RBI double. It's 15-7.
Second double for Nelly, and that was a tough pitch to do that on. He just shot the ball to the right side. Dave Righetti just leaned up and asked Bochy about going to the bullpen. Bochy shook his head no. In other words, get out of this inning. I'm not changing it. The Rockies with 2 in the first, 1 in the second, 3 in the third, 3 in the fourth, and 6 now here in the fifth. Look at this. Ball down and away. Nelly just threw his bat at it. Shot it down the right field line, hit it hard enough to keep it straight. Typically that ball would tail away.
Eric Young, who began the inning with a bunt single and a stolen base, is up again. George, the Rockies have run into just 14 outs in this ball game, yet they have 18 hits. Think about that for a moment.
It's not funny to the dugout on the third base side right now.
This ball is ripped to left center field.
Oh,
EY can fly. This is an easy triple, maybe more. Nope, he'll have to be content with a stand-up triple. 16-7. You having fun yet? Junior came into the game 10 minutes ago. He's 2 for 2.
With a stolen base and run scored. Oh, my. I don't think anybody anticipated this. Fastball, Junior hits it into the gap in left center field. Nelson's going to come around to score. EY picks up an RBI. Nelson scores the run, his first of the ball game, but he has 2 RBIs. The only one in the whole lineup without an RBI right now, Dexter Fowler, and he has 2 hits and 2 runs scored.
And a sac bunt.
The Rockies in their first 3 ball games, 3 for 20 with runners in scoring position, and tonight, 12 for 19.
Well, the fans would think it's save some for tomorrow. Go ahead. 2-1-3-3-7. That was a combination open my locker in high school.
They got Tacos out of the way in that inning, and they got him away again in this inning.
Carryover Tacos. That's down low on Scudero.
I think Hensley's finally up throwing in their bullpen.
Well, I know Bochy's thinking about. He's thinking about tomorrow now. He's now managing this game for tomorrow and when they return home for the Pirates. And Scudero in the air to center field. Pagan has it. And now the Giants can refamiliarize themselves with a strange place, their dugout. 7 runs in the 5th. 16-7 Rockies. Troy Tulowitzki deep in the hole, and he just did get it to Marco Scudero for the force out. When he does that better than anybody in the game who plays shortstop. Home Depot doing more on defense. Well, the Rockies done a whole lot on offense tonight. 16 runs, 19 hits. They have scored in every inning. They were up 6-0, gave up 7 runs in the 4th inning to briefly fall behind 7-6. And since then, they have scored 10 runs. New pitchers, Matt Belisle. Pablo Sandoval is at the plate. Sandoval, a pair of doubles and a line out. He's 2 for 3. Reynolds went an inning and 2/3. Gave up a run on a hit. Walked 2. Struck out 1. 6th inning, Toyota Talk inning. Here's a did you know fact. In 2011, Ramon Hernandez missed a game while he was sworn in as a United States citizen in Miami. This ball is on the ground to short. Troy will throw out Sandoval. That'll bring up Brett Pill for the first time. George, we've seen some wild ones here through the years, and this is near the top of the charts. Again, the Rockies came into this ball game having scored 10 runs in their first 4 games. They have 16 tonight. That man, 3 for 4 with 4 RBIs, including 2 triples. Good slider, nasty slider by Matt Belisle, and Brett Pill will take a seat. 2 gone.
Nice hard slider, late movement and cut, down and away. That's why Belisle's so valuable, because he just gets quick outs. It's one thing he does, and does a very good job of it.
Good pitch. Talk about professional hitters who always go up to the plate, George, with a game plan, battle and battle. Matt Belisle, I think, is a pitcher's version of that.
Yeah, he just doesn't give in to a hitter. Got a lot of confidence in his ability to get people out. Stays down in the strike zone, works both sides of the plate. Left-handers typically will stay down and away from him. Does a great job of carrying of the body in the offseason. A lot of work in the running, lifting, bicycling.
Mixed in with the hunting and the fishing.
Likes to hunt, loves to fish. Spends a lot of time in the mountains of Colorado and a lot of trout streams back in Texas. As we say in the country, his home place.
Grew up in the Austin area. Beautiful section of Texas. Here's the 0-2, and it's chopped foul. Jim Lincecum got the start, did not last long. It's been a great night for Carlos. 2-2. Rockies had come into this ball game having lost 8 of 9 against the Giants, 18 of their last 24 against San Francisco. Marco Scudero to help. 1-2-3, 6th inning for Matt Belisle. 16-7 Colorado. Coors Light cold hard blast. In the 3rd inning, Dexter Fowler flirted with a home run, hit it too hard. Line shot off the top of the scoreboard, and he had to really crank it up. It was so well played by Nate Shearholtz to arrive safely with a double. Drew Goodman, George Frazier, Jenny Cavnar. 16-7 Colorado, 19 hits. Remember last September when the Rockies set or tied a team record for hits in a ball game. They had 25. Actually, they didn't tie it, they broke the record. That was last September 25th in Houston. That may be in jeopardy tonight. They're only 6 away. Here's Fowler, and Jeremy Affeldt is greeted with a drive to left center field, and this one's going to run to the deep portion of left center field. Another double. Dexter's had a breakout game. 2nd double of the night. He's got 3 hits. Bruce Bochy'd like to go back to the hotel right about now.
There's no question, along with his team, coaches, trainers, weight and strength, there's not many behind. Base hit, left center. Affeldt's like, wow, really? Got to make a better pitch, try to work my way through this thing. Disappointed. But you never want to let that emotion carry over to the mound with you.
Listen, Bochy doesn't want to have to do this. Affeldt understands he's got to wear this right now.
Yeah, they got somebody going in their bullpen again now. It's probably Hensley, but with an 8-man bullpen, he's worried about tomorrow. Madison Bumgarner's first start. He didn't pitch well in that start. 4 innings, 4 runs.
Cargo waves at that slider.
He hung one to Cargo previously, and he hit it hard to right field.
He's had an RBI in each at bat. Can he make it 5 RBIs at 5 at bats? The right man running at second. 20 hits for the Rockies. Big slow curveball, and it's 0-2. That's a ground ball to first. Pill will run to the bag. Moving to third is Fowler. The leadoff hitter's not only reached in every inning in this ball game for the Rockies. They have scored each time. 1 out. Dexter's 90 feet from scoring. And Tulowitzki, who has 2 ribbies, a chance to drive in a third. Infield halfway. Troy's 2 for 4. Cabrera trying to squeeze that gap in left center field. We've seen that defensive alignment before. So if Troy were to pull one down the line, Cabrera would have to run a 60-yard dash to get close to the baseball.
Pitch him away, play him away, hope that's what results of that. They have all the spray charts. So then you throw a slider in, doesn't make much sense. It's a pretty easy pitch to pull down that line.
Elton on deck, 2-1 on Tulowitzki. Rockies went 38-43 at home last year. A few times in their history they've been beneath 500 at 20th and Blake. 3-2, that gets away. Dexter started home, and then we saw it didn't get too far from Sanchez. Put the brakes on. Wells Fargo customers, get your 2-for-1 Rockies tickets today by going to wellsfargo.com/Rockies. Wells Fargo Bank, member FDIC. Doing a fine job of bouncing back from being shut out in their home opener on Monday.
Well, I think more importantly, I agree with what you're saying. That's big hook outside corner. But I also think more importantly, after the Giants had put a 7 spot up, and at that point they led 7-6, the Rockies had put a 10 spot back on them. Big hook outside corner, gets strikeout of Tulowitzki.
Two outs, Fowler at third, and here's Helton. Todd's got 3 hits tonight, 2 singles and an RBI double. Todd hit one off the top of the right field wall, right down the line, right on the foul line. And he hit a 400-foot opposite field double.
This type of a ball game puts so many people in a really good mind. Scooter Road 237. Fowler entered the game at 091. He's now hitting 267. Gonzalez entered the game 176. He's now hitting 273. Tulowitzki 263. Helton up to 250. Kadire at 339. Chris Nelson's average has jumped up. Hernandez has jumped up. They all have.
That was a strike, actually. Todd spun out of the way like he was going to get hit, and it was
big hook
in the strike zone.
Great big hook, and he has the ability to throw that thing and throw it with velocity, which can make you do that as a batter.
1-2. He showed a shot at Eric Young Jr. He got to play tonight. He got to play an inning, George.
Mom's happy.
Yeah, got 2 hits, single and a triple.
Yeah.
You're done for the evening, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, just go relax. A spark plug for this offense when he's gotten on the field.
Yeah, he's done a great job. He had a terrific spring. 1-2. And Todd, like few can, will waste borderline pitches.
You're right. He does this as good as anybody in the history of the baseball. Somebody throws him a nasty pitch, he just counters it with the ability to do just what he did there. Slap it the other way.
Well, the Giants are going to do something they have not done all night. Put a 0 up on the board. 16-7. Lexus look back. Well, folks, the Rockies have produced a lot of offense tonight. They broke out in a big way. 16 runs, 20-plus hits already. And everybody's been involved. Several times. Dexter Fowler's had a big ball game. Cooney Lexus look back, brought to you by Cooney Lexus, where luxury has an address. Rockies now turn to Tyler Chatwood with the 9-run lead in the 7th inning. So 1 inning of work for Matt Belisle. 1-2-3 inning for Matt Belisle. He has the only 1-2-3 inning of the night. Tyler Chatwood is a 21-year-old with the Angels last year. Now working out of the bullpen for the Rockies.
Electric stuff. It's just a matter of mastering the strike zone with his stuff, and I think eventually that will happen. He's a very young pitcher. It's an adjustment for him because a year ago he worked strictly as a starter out of the bullpen for the Angels. He'll show velocity. That was 94.
He's learning to be a pitcher. Blessed with a great arm. He was an infielder in high school primarily. Really came to pitching later on at Tommy John surgery. In fact, when he was a sophomore, and that was before he was a pitcher. 2-0. Shearholtz fouls it off. Shearholtz has ties to this state in a way. His brother attends the U.S. Air Force Academy.
As a young pitcher, 9-run lead, and you've sit and watched how crazy this game is. You have to come in with an attitude of not all fastballs. Come in with an attitude to get quick outs. Pound the strike zone.
3-2 on Shearholtz. perfect world, Jim Tracy would not have to make another pitching change.
Right. I mean, that would be the greatest thing in the world. You got an 8-man bullpen anyway, but you'd like to see a 1, 2, 3 innings, get 3 innings of work. He's been stretched out. He started. Go out and pound the zone, save everybody else down in your bullpen.
Shearholtz has just hit another home run. He's second of the night. And it's 16-8.
This is kind of the way the inning started. I don't want to bring that up. Back in the fourth for the Giants.
This is one of those nights, even at this juncture, up 8 runs, it's not like you feel super comfortable.
You really don't. I mean, it's just one of those crazy ball games. He got a steady diet of fastballs, only one slider in that hold at bat. I understand, 9-run lead, trying to get the ball on the ground, but big league hitters, these guys obviously are not going to give up in a game they trailed already 6-0.
Shearholtz kills the Rockies. Seven home runs in his career at Coors Field. And what is it? 7 of his 19 career home runs here at Coors Field. 2-1. Brandon Crawford hit a long home run against Jeremy Guthrie. He gave up back-to-back solo home runs in the 4th inning. He could never get out of it. Ended up giving up 6 runs. 2-2. Pitchers of record: Matt Reynolds on the plus side, Guillermo Mota on the south side. That's 3-2. That's not going to work. Said a moment ago, George, come out. You got to throw quality strikes, but it's back-to-back 3-2 counts to begin the inning.
7th inning of the game. Over under 300 pitches thrown.
What's my guess?
Yes, over or under 300 pitches thrown in the game.
Wow. I'll say slightly under.
How about slightly over? This is 309th pitch coming.
Wow.
You're in the 7th. I think the most I've seen thrown back in 1999 was 466 pitches in a game, combined between the two teams.
Dexter's got a long run, but he'll get there. 1 out. Well, baseball lost a great man 2 days ago. We knew him as Moose. Everybody in baseball knew him as Moose. One of the great scouts in the game, and he scouted for a number of teams. Wilbur Moose Johnson, who lived here in the Denver area, passed away at the age of 82. 2 sons in the game for many years. And there'll be a memorial service at St. Joan of Arc in Arvada on Monday at 10 a.m. And you and I knew Moose pretty well. And what a character, too. What a great man to visit with. He signed so many big names. Signed Ryne Sandberg. He was the one who originally scouted him and got him signed. He was the one when he was working in the Toronto organization. Here's a base hit. And Pat Gillett looked around the room and said, what if we make this trade, the big one that got Robbie Alomar and company from San Diego to Toronto, which helped them lead them with Joe Carter to a couple of World Series titles in the early 90s. Everybody in the room in Toronto said, oh boy, that with Fred McGriff, that'd be a tough trade to make. And he stood up and said, I'd make it tomorrow. Pat Gillick ended up making that deal. Again, the Jays went on to a couple of World Series titles, but baseball's lost a great one in Moose Johnson.
Absolutely, they sure have.
And he was a regular at Coors Field. This is a double play ball. In the inning, Nate Shearholtz gets one back for the Giants with his 2nd home run of the night. Rockies up 16-8. At 20th and Blake, Rockies in the bottom of the 7th with a 16-8 lead. Folks, you're getting tacos tomorrow. Go to participating Colorado Taco Bell locations tomorrow between 4 and 6 to get your Rockies tacos special. Brian Terrio, normally a middle infielder, is in the ballgame in right field. He just pinch hit a moment ago. Shearholtz has come out. Clay Hensley is aboard. Actually, Terrio's in left field. Made a little boo-boo there. So Shearholtz stays in the game. Melky Cabrera comes out. Michael Kadire will be the first to face Hensley. Kadire's got a pair of doubles tonight. Also a walk, 2 for 3. And an RBI. One and one on Michael Kadire.
Drew talked a little bit about Clay Hensley earlier. The 32-year-old originally was drafted by the Giants in 2002. A couple of years in their minor league system, rejoined the organization in the past offseason as a free agent on his 5th opening day roster. Worked as a reliever in Florida last year. Also started a few ball games.
You're talking about Ryan Terrio, George, being in left field. He has 5 games in the outfield in his career. He's back in his Cubs days in 2007.
Now that's a little shorter outfield to wander around in than the Ponderosa and left at Coors.
Dyer beats it in the ground to short. Crawford throws him out. Well, during spring training, you're talking to Michael Kadire, who's become a big star in baseball, but for those that don't know him as well, they look at the last name, and it is often mispronounced.
I've been French, Courrier. I've been Spanish with courier or something, you know. I've been Cudger. I've been just about everything you can do. And what I would tell people is just put a hyphen in between the 2 D's. If you put a hyphen in between the 2 D's and make it 2 separate words, you'll be fine.
Well, Milo Hamilton had trouble the other day, called him Cutter when he introduced him. And Milo, a Hall of Fame announcer, Michael Cutter.
Hensley.
Kick save.
Well, yeah, he played hockey goalie there and took another hit from Ramon Hernandez. He's got a couple of hits, couple of ribbies in the ball game. 2 outs, and that'll bring up Chris Nelson.
Well, right back up the middle, jump in the air, catch a spike. Sure, why not? The ball, then run it over and flip it to first.
One of the odd things about tonight is you look at Chris Nelson and his numbers this evening. Rockies with 16 runs, George, have not hit a home run.
Yeah, but they put a lot of hits on the board, 21, and a lot of extra base hits tonight for the Rockies too. 10 extra base hits. Got a couple of triples, a whole lot of doubles.
They came into this ball game, mentioned the fact that they only scored 10 runs in their first 4 games. They were hitting collectively beneath 200. Chatwood's going to get an opportunity. And he'll get it right now. Chris Nelson with his 3rd knock of the ball game. Everybody's going to be early for the afternoon affair tomorrow. At least on the Rocky side.
Yeah, they're going to be a little happier in those guys with the Giants tonight, and understandably so. I mean, these are the kind of games you hate to have. If you are the Giants, happy to have if you're the Rockies. Put this kind of a number on the board. Now, Drew, you mentioned he was an accomplished shortstop. Jenny, what do you got on him as a hitter?
Yeah, you're exactly right, George. He was excited to come to the National League to hit. That was his first thought when Jerry Dipoto, the general manager for the Angels, gave him a phone call and said he'd be traded. Tyler was on the golf course, and obviously growing up in that area, he was disappointed he wouldn't be playing for his hometown team, but he looked at his golf buddies. He said, well, maybe I'll get a chance to hit now.
Well, he's getting his chance right now. Just be happy it's not against somebody at 100 miles an hour with a nasty slider. Ooh, pretty good hack.
Pretty good bat speed.
Well, you mentioned he played the middle infield. Didn't pitch till late in high school. Had a Tommy John surgery, so. Ooh, he's even got the thumb guard on. He's got the whole thing working. Has he got his wrist tape yet or anything? He said, I might get jammed, but it's not going to hurt my thumb, I can tell you right now.
Two and one on Chatwood.
Because of the fast arm action of Hensley, that 88-mile-an-hour fastball a lot of times to hitters seems a lot quicker. It gets on you quicker. Has carry at the very end.
Chatwood promptly walks. 2 on with 2 outs for Scudero. This is the 6th at bat for Marco Scudero. Walk, fly ball left field, reached on an error and scored. Doubled and scored, and a fly ball to center field. He has scored 3 runs in the game. Every spot in the lineup has scored a run. Bases are loaded. Bases loaded for Dexter Fowler. He's had a large game. Double, single, double, also a sac bunt. He struck out the only time, only out he's made. That'll count against him. Scudero taking it on the forearm. And it's popped up, shallow left field. Crawford going out, and he'll get called off. Ryan Terrio makes the catch. Rockies leave him loaded in the 7th inning. They have a 16-8 lead as we turn the page to inning number 8 at Coors Field. 16 runs on 21 hits. They're up 16-8 on the Giants in the 8th inning. Drew Goodman, George Frazier, and Jenny Kavnar. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Colorado Rockies. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Colorado Rockies. Second inning of work for Tyler Chatwood. Angel Pagan in the 8th inning. 0 for 3 and a walk. Buster Posey's going to get an AB. He's in the on-deck circle. He's not played in the first 2 games of this series. Hasn't started.
The first was given a day off after catching 3 straight in Arizona. Tonight was shingles, of all things.
Three and nothing. Chatwood did the right thing there. Even though time's being called, if your motion already starts, go ahead and finish it, right, George?
Finish it once you get to right there. If you have the ability to stop when you're over the top of the rubber, go ahead and stop, but otherwise go ahead and throw the baseball. His arm had started to come forward, so throw the baseball. If you try to unload that thing, you'll end up hurting your arm. You know, if you try to stop and it's already coming forward. In a more crucial situation in games, sometimes hitters will call time and umpires will give it to them to see what the pitch or location was going to be. Not very crucial right now, 8-run lead.
Line drive right at Troy Tulowitzki. That was hit hard. 1 out. Hey, some good things happened down under last night. We always try to keep you abreast of how the minor leaguers are doing in the Rockies system. Christian Friedrich, who was the #1 out of Eastern Kentucky and quite honestly had a poor year last year, had the best outing of his Rockies professional career. 7 2/3 shutout innings, just 2 hits last night as the Sky Sox beat Tacoma, George.
Well, a good fastball inside. It reflected to me what I saw in Asheville when I saw him pitch there as a teammate of my son's, and I had the chance to watch him throw. I saw that a year ago. You talked about a poor year. Did not win a game after June. So it was a long year for Christian Friedrich. There's some games he should have won, did not. Last night, and I happened to call him after the ball game. He said, I was comfortable pitching in. It made the difference with his fastball. Well, obviously it did.
Posey hits it in the air to right field. Kadyr's got to go back and he'll make the catch.
Colorado Springs off to a very good start, as well as Tulsa. Tyler Matzik the other day, unfortunately 0-2, but he threw well. 5 innings, a couple of runs given out. He struck out 8, walked 3. In that start, the previous start, 4 2/3, struck out 8, walked 3. But the command is much better than what it was a year ago, where it was almost 2-to-1 walks versus strikeouts and a lot of hits given up. So that confidence coming back there also. Nolan Arenado hitting .440 for Tulsa right now. He swung the bat well. Played flawlessly at third base. Rutledge had gotten off to a rough start. He's starting to swing the bat very well. Ben Polson is back there again. Hit a home run out on the road. Dickerson is off to a very fast start, hitting .458 for Asheville.
1-1 on Sandoval, 2-1. It's good to see Tyler Matzik returning to form. Difficult season last year for the former #1 pick. Here's the 3-1. On the ground to second. Good inning for Chatwood. Safely through the 8th. The Rockies leading by 8.
The music I'm listening to right now in my iPod is Wisin y Yandel. My favorite type of music is reggaeton. My favorite TV show right now and always is Los Simpsons. My favorite gadget that I can live without is my BlackBerry. My favorite thing to do away from baseball is watch movies.
And Cargo will be coming up right here. Rockies All Access takes a look at the team chemistry this year on Saturday night right after the ball game. Hear from Dan O'Dowd and the new additions to the Rockies roster as they talk about the changing culture in the clubhouse. That's Saturday night right after the ball game against Arizona here on Root Sports. Cargo's had a huge night. Triple in the first to drive in a run, and he scored. Triple in the third to drive in a run. He would eventually score. RBI ground out in the fourth. RBI single in the fifth. And he grounded out sharply to first in the sixth. Brian Wilson getting a little work here is in. The beard gets larger, George.
It's larger, yes it does.
That's a strike.
A lot of cutters now. Fastball still could get there, but that was a 90-mile-an-hour cutter. Very good command of that pitch.
Two-strike count. Want the fastball up.
Aired that one out a little bit, 95.
Yeah, his last pitch was at 90.
And that was a cut fastball. This four-seam fastball at 95. He doesn't have any fear on the mound, that's for sure.
Only has fear when he looks in the mirror. Two and two. You know, it's interesting. You get work for your ninth inning guy. You always want him fresh. You know how that works in baseball. You always want him sharp. But for the Rockies, it's been 6 months. They get reacquainted with Wilson's repertoire also in the middle of their order.
Yeah, sure does. But I think for Bruce Bochy, he wants 15, 17 pitches. If it gets beyond that, he'll get somebody in the bullpen again, because once it gets 20 and beyond for most closers, then they eliminate themselves for the next day. Bochy wants this thing to go away.
Big time.
His son, coming back from Tommy John, has jumped all the way from low A to double A in just a year-and-a-half span with their ball club. He threw an inning in spring training, struck out 2, and he's pitched very well for their double A team. Went to the University of Kansas.
3-2 on Cargo. Ball 4. Brian Wilson walks Gonzalez, and that'll bring up Tulowitzki. And we check in again with Jenny. Hey, Jenny.
Hey, Drew. We know that Brian Wilson's beard has caused some beard mania around the nation. Some have even feared the beard, but this may be taking the beard a little too far. Is it a beard? Is it a plane, or is it just a beard on a plane? That's exactly what it is. Virgin America put Brian Wilson's beard on the front of one of their planes. They've dubbed the aircraft Fly By Baby. It debuted on April 2nd. Of course, it finds its home base in San Francisco, where the headquarters are for Virgin America. Too much, just too much.
They've got the giant logo on the engines. They have the giant logo on the side. And they got his beard on the front.
Got Frazier disease. Too many hours at the bullpen.
Oh, but it is so much fun.
1 ball, 1 strike on Troy. Brian Wilson misses there. How about the Tigers today? That Justin Verlander on the hill, George. 2-hit shutout through 8 innings. Unhittable.
It was not a pretty ending.
Or excuse me, a 1-hit shutout through 8 innings. 1-hit shutout going to the 9th inning. They end up losing.
Wasn't a fun day, I can tell you that.
Tulowitzki goes down swinging against Wilson. 1 out. That'll bring up Helt. Let's take a look at news and notes around the big leagues. Tampa got 4 in the 9th inning against Verlander to win 4-2. They had 1 hit, as I said, going to the 9th. Steven Strasburg, great duel with Johan Santana. Santana only gave up 1 run. Washington tacked on a few later on. It was a really good performance both ways. And then the Marlins today playing for the first time without their manager Ozzie Guillen. He'll miss the next 5, suspended by the club. And Roy Halladay, and the Phillies win 7-1. Phillies off to a little bit of a slow start. They don't seem to have too many bad days when Arvada West, Roy Halladay's on the mound, though, do they?
I've been watching that. He usually strikes out a lot of people. He wins a lot of games. Josh Johnson got beat up pretty good in that game. The loser, 7-1.
Todd, it's a high fly ball to deep right center. He just missed this one. Shearholtz makes the catch. Todd got the barrel on it, missed it by a smidgen. 2 outs.
Well, a heavy storm came through here in the middle of the afternoon. Another one hit during the game. Yet 30,337 showed up. High heater. Boy, really got the hands inside the baseball to get the good wood of the bat out there on the heart on that baseball and just missed. Hit that thing out of the yard.
Michael Kadire, a couple of doubles, 2 for 4 and a walk. 2-strike count. Rockies got 2 runs in the first against Tim Lincecum. It seemed like 3 days ago. Then a run in the second against him. Then they chased him with 3 in the third. 3 more in the fourth, then 7 in the fifth. And Cargo is going to move up. That'd be a wild pitch.
Been a few of those in the game tonight too. I think that's the 3rd or 4th wild pitch in the game.
You were talking about all the pitches. Hector Sanchez got to feel like he's caught a doubleheader.
Well, how about Ramon didn't have much fun the first 5 or 6 either. How many total pitches now? I'll just ask the truck without talk back. How many pitches have we seen now in the ball game? It's 307 in the 6th. See, things tightened up. 365 coming up right now.
Two on Kadire. And a good pass at that pitch. Tomorrow, day game after a night game. We'll have it for you right here on Root Sports. Hernandez on deck. Probably see Willeen Rosario catch tomorrow. Todd Helton will probably be given the day off. This ball's well hit right center field. This could be the 3rd double of the ball game for Michael Kadire. Cargo's going to come around. And Michael Kadire with his 3rd 2-bagger of the night, his 2nd RBI. The Rockies have their 17th run.
You know what? I really like this league. This league's fun to play in.
This ballpark's fun to play in.
Yeah, I'm seeing the ball really good here, kind of like I did down in Houston. I guess that's why I'm hitting 400. With a whole bunch of doubles.
You know, it's wild, George. Michael Kadire had 15 at-bats at Coors Field coming into tonight.
And his average was?
He was 1 for 15.
It's not very good.
Well, you knew those numbers were going to turn around quickly.
Eventually it would. .23 pitches for Wilson now.
This ball toward the hole. This is a pretty fine play by Brandon Crawford. Little help by Brett Pill at first base. Took a hit from Hernandez. 17-8. You by College Invest. Are you saving for college or just talking about it? And by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. 17-8 Rockies on a mere 22 hits. All kinds of things to talk about on the Toyota postgame show. For just a little bit of a preview, here's Joel Klatt out in center field. Joel.
Fellas, we are kicking it old school. This is like 95 Coors Field all over again. 17 runs for the Colorado Rockies. We'll talk about all the offense that the Rockies threw out there today against the Freak and Freak on a Leash. The shortest outing by Tim Lincecum of his career. That was tonight. 2 innings and a third. We'll talk about it all. Plus, we'll get into the clubhouse. Jenny will have interviews down the field and the clubhouse. That's all coming up on the Toyota postgame report.
We will look forward to that, Joel. Thank you. Rockies have made a couple of changes defensively here in the 9th inning. Get Carlos Gonzalez off his feet. Tyler Colvin's in left field. Get Troy Tulowitzki off his feet. Johnny Herrera is at shortstop. And Tyler Chatwood, George, has a chance for a first tonight in his young career. He can get a save.
Pick up a save. The ball finds Johnny right out of the chute. How about this? The Rockies have had 15 3+ inning saves in their career since this franchise started. Only 5 since 1998, and the last was Jason Hamill. Remember that one a year ago on September 11th, 2011.
Hill retired, and Hector Sanchez coming up. Fastball in there for a strike. Well, the Rockies have set a franchise record tonight. 17 runs is the most runs they've ever scored without the benefit of a home run. Dexter came close to hitting one out. Todd came close to hitting one out. Michael Kadire, 3 doubles. People are going to look around the country at the box score tomorrow. They're going to say 17 runs. All right, let me see how many of my fantasy players went deep. And say, wait a second. No home runs? 2 outs, nobody on. This guy's hit a few home runs tonight, actually 2. 2 long home runs for Nate Shearholtz, 2 solo home runs. 2-0.
One came against Chatwood in the 7th, first batter he faced.
Jamie Moyer tomorrow, George, against Madison Bumgardner.
I'm looking forward to the matchup. Looking forward to Jamie. That first game out of the way since he hadn't pitched since 2010. When you look at his last outing, I mean, 4 runs on 5 hits. He walked 1. Gave you 5 innings of work. I think Jamie poised for a pretty good outing tomorrow.
Two and two. Stay alive in that dugout. That hopped over the railing. Neighborhood of Giambi, EY, and Cargo. On the ground to second. This should do it. And the Rockies win it going away. What a performance offensively. 17 runs on 22 hits. The final score 17-8. Rockies had 10 runs in their first 4 ball games. They improved to 2-3, first home win of the year. Matt Reynolds gets the victory, his first of the year. Tim Lincecum is 0-2 to begin 2012. And Tyler Chatwood, because he got the final 9 outs, earns his first career save. 8th time in Rockies history they've had 22 or more hits in a game. The club record 25 set last September down in Houston. Tonight's Delivery of the Game is brought to you by Jimmy John's, America's favorite sandwich delivery guys. Carlos Gonzalez, couple of triples in the ball game, 4 RBIs. The Stars really shined this evening. He had one to left center, he had one to right. Big night for Cargo as he got untracked offensively, and so did all his mates. Again, 17 runs on 8 hits. The work of Carlos Gonzalez tonight are Jimmy John's delivery of the game. Stick around. The Toyota postgame show is next. 17-8 Colorado.